everybody. Welcome to episode 32 of the Intermission podcast, the show where two film graduates discuss classic, iconic, and obscure films from times gone by. We're your hosts, Oscar William Fitchett.
Robert Edwards Tweedale, if that's what we're doing. Yeah. Hello.
Do you know that always used to be a thing? Like I would never be secret. I'm not. You were around in uni at this point, so you've been witness to this. Where like I've never kept it secret what the W stands for my name, but
yes.
throughout the entire 3 years of university, many people have went. So what does the W stand for? Many people.
Don't you worry about
it. Where it would be like. It would first year it was our class of film, then second year it was the actors, and then third year it was a lot of just people that we went on nights out with.
Yeah. But yeah, just say it's like, just for all the fucking W's I'm getting all the time, never lose, baby. Just be like that. I'll be real mysterious about it and be like, you don't want to know. And then they will, and they'll keep asking.
I used to go like, only my closest friends know.
Damn. That's good. That's strong. Very mysterious.
I used to say that only my closest friends know, and then they would just say loads of names, and I'll just go, okay.
Walden.
That actually does get you a lot more attention on a night out. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
but I've just said it. It's fine. It's whatever. No. But a lot of the names were very like extravagant and grand, and then I would just go, it's William, and they would go, oh,
is it Wallace?
I got Walter.
Walter's good.
Wilfred.
Yeah.
Someone said Wilfred at one point.
Oh, I like that. I like the name Wilfred.
That's Wilfred's a good name. Yeah, Wilfred's a nice name. Before we get further, a few things to say before we get further in. First of all, you can see Robbie's got his earphones on, so he's obeying the hopefully we won't have any feedback this time.
Hopefully there won't be a fucking mess of abuse on the end of the podcast again. Christ. Horrifying.
I was saying to Lewis that like, he's just going to end up becoming the dad of the intermission, where like every now and then he just pops in at the end being like, why did you just do that?
Yeah, what are you doing? I was crying. Because I hadn't seen it.
Not with happiness.
No, it's because I hadn't, what the fuck? Sorry. Jesus Christ, the support assist just came in on my laptop like, real fucking loud with my headphones on. I was like, what the fuck is just going on? No, I was watching it and I was like, you'd put the video in the group chat of it already, or Lewis had, and I hadn't seen it.
Put it, yeah.
I hadn't checked the group chat, so I didn't see it until I fucking watched the podcast. I got right to the end and was like, what the fuck? It's got held abuse for no reason. Well, some reason, but you know.
For a reason, but you know, yeah.
I'm a professional.
I kind of keep replaying that. When Lewis is really funny, he's really funny. When Lewis is funny, he's downright hysterical at times, where he just goes so passive aggressive that I can't stop but just crying with laughter.
It's so good. Yes, can we make that a new segment?
Knows
please?
What he's doing. It's just expert. Knows what he's doing. He doesn't need headphones. Nobody needs them. He's an expert. Goodbye.
Can we make that a recurring segment now, where at the end we just let Lewis say whatever he wants for a bit?
It's going to be. He's already said to me. He's already told me the segue that I need to do at the end.
Fantastic.
And I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Okay, but, I'm ready and raring.
But another thing I want to state is we've already broken it within this episode. I got a request, not request. It was more of like a challenge from one Mother Fitchett.
Oh, very good.
From my mum. She went, can you do a challenge? Can I challenge you for something? I went, what's the challenge? She went, well, can you, Robbie, do a challenge? Do a challenge.
Oh, God, okay.
I was like, what's the challenge? And she went, can you do a podcast without swearing? And then
absolutely fucking not.
And then I was like, oh, but why? And she was like, I try to listen, but then it gets too much for me when I just hear you effing and blind in every word. And I go, it's not that bad. And she went, it gets a bit. So here's
sorry, Mrs. Fitchett.
So here's the thing. Here's what we're gonna try. I've listed her. I've listed the rest of the season in terms of the films that we are going to be talking about. And I went, right, here's the films. you choose a film that you've seen and a film that you would like to listen to us talk about, and for that episode, we won't swear. So she's picked the film. I'm not going to say what the film is yet, but it's in 3 weeks, I think. Is the episode. But I thought this would be a fun one. We'll start the clean slate now. This will be a dry run. This isn't the official one because she's seen the Philadelphia Story, so this is a film that my mum can at least know of the film we're talking about. So, again, this isn't the challenge, but I just thought, how about we have a bit of a dry run with the no swearing intermission for this episode, just to see how far we can go.
Let's give it a go. Okay.
So, because we're going to have to try and do it for one episode anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to actively try.
Yes, next week she hasn't seen the film, so we don't need to worry.
Okay.
It's fine. But we'll try with this week. So that will be we'll try the no swearing thing as the dry run for the episode that will be in a few weeks' time.
Okay.
So that'll be that. I also want to say within this intro, I want to promote a bit more audience interaction because I thought, you know what?
Ooh.
I always want to do this anyway. Obviously, we promote people being like, come on, like, you know, you can DM us. People have DM'd us, and we've read the DMs. We've read comments whenever we have comments on YouTube or whatever. If you come to us and say, hey, can you say this on the intermission? We probably will.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? I haven't seen, you know what? I'll have a look because obviously we're on more platforms than just YouTube and Spotify. We mainly focus on YouTube, and then Spotify's also there. But also, we are also on Apple Podcasts and as well. So I thought, you know, I'm just going to see if anyone's put a review. If anyone's put a review on on Apple, and we've got one review on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
This was posted on the 31st of May, 2022. So it was during that really long hiatus. In between Fist of Fury and Kramer versus Kramer. So we were still in the midst of deadlines at this point, but this was after the film festival.
Yeah.
This might have been just as the deadline was coming up, actually. It was a review written by one Maisie Rooney. Thanks, Maisie.
Do we know that person?
Yes, we do, Robbie.
I'm so confused. Who is Maisie Rooney? Do we know this person?
Yeah. We've seen her on like Oakroyd parties and stuff.
Oh, is she Katie and Angus's friend?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks, Maisie. Yeah. She gave us a 5-star review, so thank you. And with the main tile saying amazing, and then the review being super insightful. Wish you had Angus on though.
Fuck that guy. Oh, sorry. No. God damn it.
I saw it happen. I was like, I'm not going to stop it. I'm just going to see if he goes through with it.
I refuse. If there's one person I downright refuse to have on this podcast, it's Angus, because I'll get abused. It'll turn into the Bully Robbie hour, and I can't stand for it.
What makes you think you will just be the target of Angus?
Because I'm always the goddamn target, Oscar, alright? Every time we talk about this podcast, he comes along and he's like, oh, well, it's Oscar's podcast.
It's not just... No, to be fair, that's not him.
Yeah, well.
That's not him saying it.
Oh, God. I'd love to have Angus on. He's a good guy.
And to answer that, Maisie, we're working on it. I'm working on it.
Oh, wait, hang on one sec. I think my front door just knocked and I'm the only person in the house currently.
You go and...
Keep the people entertained, Oscar.
Well, I might cut this bit because I'm
cutting tables. It was an Amazon guy.
Right.
But he'd already pushed the parcels through the letterbox and then just knocked to let me know they were there, I guess.
You don't do that.
It's
That's
fine,
not how that
dude.
works.
Just fucking leave them.
That's not how that works. But yes, so that's what I want to say is thank you, Maisie, for the comment on the review. And also people keep people do that. You can rate us on Spotify as well. I don't usually like doing this, but I kind of want to give the whole spiel of like, comment, subscribe, and share and all that. Because if I'm being honest, I kind of want to keep going further. I see potential with Intermission, right?
Yeah, I do too.
I see it to an extent, in a sense. I can see at least a bit of a goal in a way, and I feel like all we need is just dedication and commitment. And now we don't have university. We can
do all of that.
We could do it. we can do it. So a mini goal of mine is to almost make it weekly, and even if we go a bit off season with the Robbie and Oscar bit, I kind of want to get special guests on. This is where the Angus thing kind of comes into it.
Hell yeah.
So in some way, I want to keep the intermission consistent, and also and with helps of that, it'll be helpful if people, give us reviews, share us, like, comment, all that stuff. Again, I don't usually like going like, comment, subscribe, but it's come on.
But do.
But we're
do that thing.
We're over 300 subscribers. I want to keep getting that up there and on YouTube and whatnot. We have at least committed fans, listeners. I don't want to say fans because that just feels a bit. I don't know. It feels a bit too self-congratulatory. But committed listeners. There's not a lot of yous, but I love yous all.
Damn.
Again, mainly Angus.
Yeah, he's all right, isn't he?
Love you, Angus.
But I will say though, I was out in Beverley, nearby town to me, on an evening, Saturday,
and you saw an intermission shirt. You saw the Cazal.
I saw someone wearing a Cazal shirt. It was me. I went to a mirror. No, there was a guy who I haven't seen in like years, and he came over and he was like, so because there was two of them. I hadn't seen both of them in like ages, and one of them was like, "Oh, what are you doing now, Robbie?" And the other guy was like, he's got his bloody podcast, mate. He knows. He's like, I keep updated with it all the time. I was like, so shout out to you, Luke Chapman.
Nice. I will say a lot of, like, when I look at the people who view the intermission stories, a lot of them are your people.
Really?
It's a mainly Tweedale fan base as opposed to a 50 fan base is all I'm saying. So
Jeez.
on my side, step it up.
Come on, Hartlepool.
Come on, Hartley. Come on.
Sort it out.
Come on, Fitchit heads.
Oh,
Fitchit heads.
That's horrendous. That's horrific. I've got the Rob Nation and the Fitchit heads. I just realised that.
Are you Team Robbie or Team Oscar? Like, that's
yeah. Get that going. Team Robbie or Team Oscar. I'm gonna leave the rest of my tea because I've just realised that half of the lime scale from the kettle has come out in the mug.
Oh no!
So that's gross.
So yeah.
So anyway, I might keel over. Who knows?
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
What happens.
Well. Those are a few things that are mainly the intermission-based things, so that some of these things can get touched on by that point. I also, while we're there, just generally the promoting-based bits. Obviously, in the description, you can go to the links. There's links in the description for Instagram and Letterboxd, not only for us, but also for the intermission itself. That's where you can find out what episodes are coming out and what the film is and that. And any other general updates and stuff. Kind of move away from the mic because I feel that would be disgusting if I just belched right in there. So there's that. Obviously, this is where I want to get real for a bit. Dad Oscar hasn't been out in a while.
Oh man,
you know that I just again it links with the usual mental health based things that we mentioned, like links and that for that stuff as well. I always feel like when I mention the fact of Dad Oscar's coming out, let's get serious. I'm like, is this when Robbie gets uncomfortable? Is this
kinda? Well, it's because it's only because I don't know what it's gonna be.
So you're just trying to like brace yourself.
So I'm also get worried as a friend, you know.
No. If it's anything that bad, I would have said something before we recorded.
Okay.
So nothing too much. No, I want to say recent. Obviously, there's a story. It ties into things. Don't worry. There's a lot of drama and like needless BS. Didn't swear. Needless BS.
Nice.
For the around the wrestling world right now, which I'll end up mentioning in the intermission. Don't worry, because there's a lot of like nonsense happening right now regarding that, and it's difficult. It's all that stuff. But I also want to say what also happened over the last weekend. It was either Friday or Saturday, I can't remember. That I saw a post that a Japanese wrestler by the name of Hana Kimura back in 2020, she was the subject of a lot of online bullying, and she ended up taking her own life in that time period. And I saw just a post saying, today would have been Hannah Kimura's 25th birthday. And so it got me thinking with stuff like that. And I have a very funny thing with death just generally, being an existential thinker. You have that. But I have a very specific, extreme emotional reaction whenever suicide is amongst there and stuff like that. I haven't necessarily experienced anything directly, but what I think it is with me is that obviously death is it's a thing. It's a thing within life and the world and stuff. What has a specific extreme reaction with me in terms of suicide is that it was under the control of the person who did pass, which I find a lot more terrifying than any other circumstance like that. And also last night I rediscovered the song. I listened to a bit of the Foo Fighters tribute concert to Taylor Hawkins, which which I'm not sure how. I can't remember how Taylor Hawkins exactly passed, but I just saw the song where they got I forgot, is it Corey Hawkins, his son?
Yeah, someone's playing the drums.
It's for the song My Hero. Got a bit emotional with that. As someone who's not a big Foo Fighters guy anyway, I like a few of their songs. But, that had a bit of reaction to that. I rediscovered the song Blackbird by Alter Bridge, where there's certain lyrics in that really hit hard, where it's Blackbird, fly away, may you never be broken again. Little things like that. So it's just been a thing where, obviously we mention these things weekly about mental health links and stuff, and I don't want to make it sound like a very flippant, just whatever, there's links in the description or whatever like that. I want to just mention there's no direct story with that. I've just been thinking about it quite a lot the last few days. It's a thing where it's a very scary thing to me, just generally, and it's scary in the sense of it's people that are victim to that are people who choose that when that isn't the only option. And again, the thing that struck me really hard is the sentence, today would have been Hannah Kimura's 25th birthday. No one should be, I don't think anyone at all, no matter what, should have that sentence. It would have been someone's birthday, and especially at a young age like that. So I want to say, no matter what age you are as well, because obviously it's not subject to younger people, no matter what age you are, I just want to say there is always another option. There is always another option. That is not the only option that is out there. And there's no sponsor. There's no, we don't get anything from it. It's just from the good of our hearts, in the sense of there's links in the description for information for that reason. I highly doubt if you're in, I'm not saying these two dudes who talk podcast stuff, this is where I go to not commit suicide. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is I want this to be a space where obviously I want people to come, listen, have fun, listen to us talk film, maybe get a new film recommendation from hearing us talk. I want that stuff, but I also don't want it to sound like we're blind to reality. And if anything in reality hits me at a point, I want it to be said here, because I don't want to be false to anyone listening or watching. And I feel like a lot of people, and I don't want people to be false when they feel like they are having troubles or problems. So be real, and there's other options than the worst. So that's the real talk that I want to talk about.
Very, very nicely put, good sir. Oh, yeah.
And with that being said, should we get on to this week's
Absolutely. I'm just going to do a quick check, right?
Go on.
That I haven't got my microphone the wrong way around.
Oh, remember when you did that for a long time?
Yeah, so I did that for months, but now I'm so...
That's the right way. That's the right way.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
The little knob should be facing the camera. Yes.
Yes, there's
yes,
what?
It is.
Yeah.
Those should be facing the camera.
All right, cool. I think we're good then.
Yeah, you're fine.
Christ.
Lewis, is he fine?
Who knows? Lewis will... no, I'm going to leave it like that.
Cool.
We're good.
Oh, hang on a minute. I need to get the notes out. Here it is.
I have no notes for this one.
Oh, I have a good few, actually. I have a good few notes.
Okay, cool.
But right, and the notes in relation... the film that we're talking about this week, Robbie...
Yes, sir.
Is the 1940 romantic comedy The Philadelphia Story. The film is directed by George Cukor, written by Donald Ogden Stewart. It's based on the play by Philip Barry. And the film stars Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, James Stewart, Ruth Hussey, and John Howard. And the plot synopsis of The Philadelphia Story, according to IMDb, is when a rich woman's ex-husband and a tabloid-type reporter turn up just before her planned remarriage, she begins to learn the truth about herself. Accolades the film holds: it has a 100% on the tomato meter and an audience score of 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a 7.9 out of 10 on IMDb, and it has a score of 4 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. And the film was nominated for 6 Academy Awards, including Best Supporting Actress for Ruth Hussey, Best Lead Actress for Katharine Hepburn, Best Director for George Cukor, and Best Picture. And it won 2 Academy Awards, including Best Screenplay for Donald Ogden Stewart and Best Lead Actor for James Stewart. So, Robbie, the reason for this film being a point within a intermission season was because we've kind of like we've grown a love for Jimmy Stewart within the intermission.
Yeah, I love that guy.
So we thought, well, why not? I thought, like, well, why not let's just do more. Let's just do more James Stewart films, because he's got a lot. We did Vertigo as well. We did It's a Wonderful Life and Vertigo. So I thought, how about we do one more in the It's a Wonderful Lifetime period, the 40s. Let's go to The Philadelphia Story. Now, my relationship with this film, Robbie, is this is the 3rd time I've seen this film. It's a film that I enjoy quite a lot. Obviously I'm a big James Stewart guy, but I also like a few Cary Grant films, and I'm not massively. I think this might be the only Katharine Hepburn film that feels like that I've seen. That feels like it isn't true, but I'm not sure if it is. I've seen a few Cary Grant films as well, so I like him, like Jimmy Stewart. It's a film that I like. It's a nice. It's almost like a nice comfort watch for me, almost. Yeah. I've watched it, and it's not a one that I grew up on or anything. It's not like one of these classic films where some people are like, my nana showed me it, and I've just always watched this film. It's like I heard of the film once I became a film fan, and I watched it for the first time like in 2020 or 2019. I think 2019. Then I watched it again in 2020 or whatever, either that year or the year or last year. I watched it with my mum because I just fancied showing her it, and then I watched it for the 3rd time today. And it's a film that it doesn't blow me away. It doesn't it's not like this is a film that's, it's not like, well, I'm looking at like Citizen Kane where I'm like, I can see how this shook cinema. It's like, it's a film that like I have consistently liked. I've consistently had the same enjoyment. I've consistently liked the same bits, and I've also consistently not been so hot on some bits. So it's a very consistent, enjoyable watch for me, is The Philadelphia Story. Robbie, your thing with The Philadelphia Story?
I thought we were watching a Tom Hanks film before I Googled what this movie was. I did not know what this is. I'd never seen it before this morning. And I don't like this. I'm sorry. I really didn't like this movie. Okay. Can I go over my general why I don't like this?
Yeah, just go for it.
Okay. Right. Let me get up what I read, because I was like, it was one of those movies where they're doing 1940s acting, so everyone's talking at 1,000,000 miles per hour and saying nothing.
Yeah, it's the screwball. It's the screwball style.
Yeah, I suppose. But so I went on Rotten. I saw the Rotten Tomatoes score was 100%. And thought, what? This was when I was like half an hour in. I was like, what is going on here? So
I was
went
surprised. I will admit, I was surprised seeing 100% of this film. I was like, wait, really?
I was like, what? So anyway, I read the synopsis on the Rotten Tomatoes. So I'll begin my point with the Rotten Tomatoes synopsis, right? So it says, this classic romantic comedy focused on Tracy Lord, a Philadelphia socialite who has split from her husband, C.K. Dexter Haven. And boy, do I know that is his name. Due both to his drinking and to her overly demanding nature. As Tracy prepares to wed the wealthy George Kittredge, she crosses paths with both Dexter and prying reporter Macaulay Connor. Unclear about her feelings for all three men, Tracy must decide whom she truly loves. So this is where my issue comes in, right? Surely it's not going to be her ex, because we see him punch her in the opening scene.
No, he doesn't punch her. He almost goes to punch her.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It's not going to be the guy. I know.
I also want to say this is one of the issues I do have with the film. This is not an element. This is not an element. I want to say before all of Team Oscar goes to Team Robbie, I want to say this isn't a point where I'm defending the film.
Right. So it's not going to be that guy because he's terrible. He's an awful person and he abuses her in the opening scene of the movie. It's not going to be the guy that she's currently going to marry because he's boring and he's barely in it. It's clearly going to be Jimmy Stewart because he's Jimmy Stewart. So what the fuck are we doing here? I was watching it. I was so bored. I was waiting around, and then it gets to the ending, and it's not even Jimmy Stewart. What?
And watching this film, I can tell. And watching this time around, I can tell you by the end of this film, the film convinced me that Jimmy Stewart is not a good idea to be marrying.
No, that's true.
So
in the end,
I do have a point with like because I've got quite a few notes actually, and I do have a point like how I feel the ending should have went. And
yeah,
but yeah.
I feel like this movie would have served more, and I know it's literally 1940, but it probably would have served better if it was more of a female empowerment. She don't need anyone because they all suck kind of movie.
And I think for the time, it did well enough.
Yeah, it gives it a good go. Near the beginning
for literally 1940 America.
Yeah,
but literally, this isn't a European film from the 40s. So
no, this is American.
This is American. So for that time period in this country,
yeah,
they did. I think they did the best
That's
they could.
I also don't think I like her. Like I don't like Tracy as a character, and I think that doesn't really. I don't think that really helps.
Yeah, she's not the one that I've always attached to. If I'm being honest here, this time around, this viewing was the first time I started seeing more of her side.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a lot of, I don't know. We're made to get more on board with Macaulay and Dexter. Out of the two of them. We're made to more be on their whole shtick.
Yeah. And whatever her fiance is called, Gordon or whatever. George, there we go. He might as well not be there. He doesn't do anything in this movie.
He does some stuff.
He's certainly in it. I'll give him that.
I mean, he's in it. Right.
Yeah.
We'll go through my notes. And
then absolutely. Yeah.
And then we can then go off. You know, I'm excited for this episode purely because this is how I originally pitched the idea to Robbie, in the sense of, right, I could recommend an older film to you, and then, you know, if we both like it, cool. And then if you like it and I don't, then that'll be really fun. We haven't had a lot of like episodes where that's been the case. We haven't had a lot of episodes where it's been a lot. It's more often than not, it's been quite civil, this podcast. But
yeah,
I also don't think we're going to throw fists because we're not in person.
No, and we're not those kind of people.
We're not that kind of people. Wait till I get talking about the wrestling sugar in the intermission. Oh, nice. I almost swore.
I keep forgetting that we're not supposed to be. I've done it like 4 times. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm not sure if I have. This is what I mean.
I think I have.
My mum said it to me, and I'm like, well, I'm not sure if I mean to. I'm
Yeah,
just talking to a mate.
we don't realize we're doing it. We're
I'm just talking to a mate. I'm not like.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right, I'm going to actively try from now.
Yeah. Okay.
Although I may get a bit heated as this.
That's what I'm saying. We'll see we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And again, these are very traditional intermission notes in the sense of like they're quite chronological with the film.
Nice.
So it's gonna be that type of episode where we're gonna go through the film as opposed to elements, which I feel like that's the best way to go through this film.
I think I will have it'll be better for me to go through it that way because I will say that from not making notes and after finishing this movie going to drive into town to go and get a card for Julia's birthday and then coming back, I have completely forgotten most things in this film.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Before we get into it, really, what did you think of our boy,
Jimmy Stewart?
Yeah.
I think
well, Cary Grant isn't our boy, is he?
I don't know. I think yeah, he's good for what he's given. I don't like the character very much. I think he's again he joins the pile of terrible people in this movie.
Do you want to know the? I'll read one bit of trivia about that. About Jimmy Stewart in this film. It's interesting to me because obviously he won Best Lead Actor for this film. He won the Best Lead Actor Oscar.
Oh, okay.
For this role, I think the only Oscar he got actually, which is blows my mind that not for George Bailey.
Yeah, for this is the one.
I mean, this came out before that as well. This came out 6 years prior to that. They didn't know. Yeah. But
they didn't know what was coming.
They didn't know the Titan that they had. Yeah. There's a bit. Yes, James Stewart never felt he deserved the Best Actor Oscar for his performance in this film, especially since he had initially felt miscast. He always maintained that Henry Fonda should have won instead for The Grapes of Wrath, and that the award was probably deferred payment for my work on Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. So even that point, Jimmy Stewart was like, yeah, my best mate deserved it more.
Yeah. I can appreciate that. I know what you mean, Jimmy. I don't think he was miscast.
No, absolutely not. No,
I think that he suits the role and he brings his natural charisma to it, but I don't like the guy.
Interesting. One note. The first note that I got is I like the nice, snappy, witty dialogue. It's very Sorkin-esque, I felt, almost. Which, because obviously I watched a few. I basically went on a bit of like a binge and watching pretty much its Social Network video.
Nice.
So and then I love that film anyway. And then watching an older film like this, I went, oh yeah, films just used to be like this. Where people used to say stuff that was not reality, but that's why we go to see a film. Almost. Yeah. Which is kind of why I like Social Network. I like a lot of Aaron Sorkin stuff, to be fair, because he's writing films nowadays how they would have been written yonks ago. Really. Yeah. Steve Jobs is another great example of that. I put there's a few questionable things. Which again, these are the bits that I've always had. This prevents me from giving this film 5 stars. Mm-hmm. An Oscar to be featured personal 5-star, not a greatest 5-star like Fire and Days of Summer is an Oscar to be featured 5-star film.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I'm giving Fire and Days of Summer a 5-star generally, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know so.
So the Philadelphia Story is very close to being a 5-star Oscar to be featured film, except there's like a few things I can't quite. It dates it. Again, I can forgive it in the sense like it's 1940. Yeah, but also doesn't change. It doesn't age well.
Yeah.
The specific things that I point out at this point was how Dexter just pie-faced Tracy, just threw her to the floor.
But
man.
It's like he like winds up to just lamp her.
To just absolutely jaw her.
and then he just grabs her head and throws her down to the floor.
Yeah, and also
really close to a hard wooden chair.
Yeah.
By the way,
and also, I don't know how I feel about is it Diana? Yes, the little sister. I don't know how she's like. Maybe he's gonna sock her again, Mom. It's like no.
Yeah, maybe don't joke about that, Diana. It's a terrible thing.
Maybe my sister's ex-husband's gonna bat her in the face again. Yeah, it's a bit all right.
I don't know where her head's at for a lot of this. There's that bit where she goes in and she's like, I can play the piano and sing at the same time. It's like, all right, good for you. But she's like constantly walking around like a ballerina. It's like, what are you trying to do here? I don't know.
I have a thing to say about that. And I think we're going to come to a certain conclusion in this episode when we get to it.
Okay.
Because I think I've seen things that I can tie to a previous episode to how I think you feel about this film as well.
Okay.
So here we go. And also another point that I said, like, I'm not sure how I feel about that is when Uncle Willie just pinches Tracy's backside.
Yeah, straight up.
Just to be like, yeah, don't mess around with me there.
It's barely even a pinch. When I was watching it, it looked more like he just shoves a finger up her ass. It's kind of what it looked like, and I was like, this guy's weird. Again,
Uncle Willie's an odd one. He was. There is that one bit where again I'm skipping. It's when I forgot. Ruth Hussey. I forgot her name. Is it? What's the? I need
the what?
Hang on. Jimmy Stewart's assistant.
The one that Jimmy Stewart is clearly cheating on throughout this movie.
Liz. Well, they're not going out.
Well,
they're not going out. Are they?
Yeah, I think. Well, I think at least one party is pretty smitten in that situation, and it's
that doesn't mean cheating.
It's not. But he's very aware.
Doesn't mean he feels the same, does it?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
He can't control. Hey, look. Anyone's smitten with Jimmy Stewart doesn't mean he's cheating on me.
Yeah, but then there's that bit where they get asked about, and they're both like, I don't know about going. Like, they're both very aware. So, I'm making my pile. I'm throwing on Jimmy Stewart's on the bad person pile for the episode, and Uncle Willie's on there as well. And I'll just keep adding as we go along.
I don't think you can put Jimmy Stewart on the same pile as Uncle Willie.
Yeah, well, he's not like, a sex offender, but he's not morally, he's kind of...
He's actually quite the opposite, which we'll get to the ending, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but there's that one bit where they all like reveal like who they are and whatnot, and then Liz turns to Uncle Willie, go like, so that makes you, and then he goes, available.
Yeah. I don't know about that one, Chief.
I found that a funny line, but then he had to make it uncomfortable by walking by her and just grabbing her. Like,
yeah. It's like, all right, mate.
Just walk on, Uncle Willie. You could be a little creepy, flirty, whatever. You can be that old uncle, whatever. But just keep going.
Yeah. And like just constantly force feeding her champagne. I don't know. I don't know what that's about.
That's a lot of people in this film forcing champagne. But then one bit, right? Because I find this film actually quite funny. It's not an absolute laugh out loud, hilarious time all the time for me. It's not like it's not like Some Like It Hot where I've got list like a whole page of my funny moments of Some Like It Hot. But I've got a few like lines to where I did find it really funny, and we'll see if you agree, Robbie. And
okay, I didn't find a lot of this funny. Just to preface it, so I'll wait and see what happens here.
So no, but like I'll explain.
I've got
the first line. It's not necessarily the line; it's just the scene within that this line is in. I've got in quotes, "Steady, Bessie." So when George is just like horrifically getting on that horse, I don't know why.
Oh,
it's just the delay. Yeah. It's like steady, Bessie. Hold on there, Bessie.
It goes on for so long of this guy trying to lob himself onto this horse, and then at the end, whatever the sister's called is
Diana.
Like, it's probably because it's called Jack. What are you doing? You're an idiot.
So good. It's like again, it's just like a guy who should be. He looks like he should just be top stuff. He should be.
Yeah. I'm glad he's instantly sold.
He should be like. It's almost like he's like, oh, it's this guy who's really successful in that, and then immediately he's just a goof. It's so funny.
Instantly sold to be a pathetic cook. And there he is. And you know what? I feel sorry for the guy.
George, the character.
Yeah,
where does George fall on the pile of people?
No, he's a Saying I'd die for that man.
You died for George.
I'd die for that guy. He falls into the same category as for feeling sorry for someone for me as James Marsden circa 2007. Right? So
what, Enchanted?
No, hear me out, all right? So, you know, in the X-Men movies, in the original X-Men movies, he's constantly a cook, right? So he's being constantly cuckolded by Hugh Jackman for the affection of Jean Grey. And then in X-Men 3, he said, I won't return to do this movie. I'll be in like a couple of scenes and then you kill me off. And they were like, yeah, fine. Why is that, James Marsden? And he was like, oh, because I'm going to do Superman Returns. I'm going to go and be a cuckold in another superhero film. He went over there to be cooked by Superman. So, which is even worse because in that movie, him and Lois Lane have that kid that they're raising, which is like throwing pianos across a room.
Oh yeah, I've never seen the film. I just know of it. Yeah,
it sucks. It's like throwing pianos across a room and stuff. And James Marsden's like, I don't know if this is my kid.
I'm not sure if it. Are you sure it's not? Are you sure it's not just James Marsden has loyalty to Bryan Singer?
I hope not. For the sake of him and his career, I certainly hope not.
All I'm saying, he's pretty silent. He's pretty silent these days, is he?
We'll throw another person onto the bad person pile for this episode. Bryan Singer, you're going on.
Wasn't born when this film came out, but just shot.
No, he's on it. It's now Jimmy Stewart in this movie, Uncle Willie, and Bryan Singer. There you go.
He's the worst person on that pile.
Oh, he's the worst person on the pile, yeah, because he's real.
Yeah.
It's a real terrible person.
I got note that Jimmy Stewart's intro incorporates really nice, funny editing. I like just like the little like swipes. He's like, I'm gonna tell him, I'm gonna quit, and then he just gets to and then he gets to a really Wes Anderson shot, and then and then he just goes, I'm sick of this. I don't know why. My reaction every time, I think it's because Jimmy Stewart isn't like the first character, so I'm almost just waiting for him to come in. And like he comes out, and I always just want to stand up and cheer. It feels like a boxing entrance.
I just like good on him.
It's Jimmy Stewart. It's Jimmy Stewart.
That's my boy right there.
Big fan.
Yeah, good on him.
Another funny line that I liked within that scene is when Liz said, "I can't afford to hate anyone. I'm a photographer."
Yep, that one was the first time that I actually laughed in the movie where I was like, "Oh, that's pretty good."
Where does Liz fall? Is she on the good person pile?
She's on the good person pile. She's a sweetheart.
So it's her and George at the minute for Robbie.
Yeah, if anything, I want her and George to run off together into the sunset. They deserve the world.
Her and George?
I don't know. Just anyone.
No, this isn't George Bailey. This is George Spicht or whatever his name is.
I know, but he didn't deserve this. That's all I'm saying.
Is Robbie the George? Are you a George?
What,
has this happened to you? Yeah, has this happened to you? Why are you so passionate about George?
I don't know. Just from the first time he was introduced, where he's terrible at that horse.
You're related. You're related.
Yeah, I mean, I can be like, I've been in a situation where you're going out for a day with the family of the person you're with or whatever, and you just look like an idiot for the whole day. and I've done that a few times in my time.
So what we're saying is, all I'm saying is, there's a lot. Again, I say this a lot. I don't know what this says about me. I say this a lot. I don't know who. The first time I think I said it was when we talked about the lighthouse, and I went, I don't know what this says about me. But I felt somewhat of a relation to Robert Pattinson's character in the lighthouse, and I said it. I can't. Do you remember I said it to the last time? I said I don't know what this says about me, but I felt a relation. I felt like a bit of a parallel to another character. There was somewhat of the character that I'm sure we were in person talking about this.
I don't remember this at all.
There was someone else. I can't remember who it was in particular. But again, I don't know what this says about me. But there was a lot of Macaulay in this. I'm like, okay, there's a lot of that in me, and I don't know what.
Oh God!
But here we go. Which also makes me a bit concerned. How Robbie goes, he's a bad bloke. He's just a terrible bloke. I'm like, well, let's see what goes on here, and let's see how this conversation goes. Maybe this is the last episode of maybe this is the last episode of Intermission. Maybe we all fall out. Who knows?
Yeah, this is it. This could be it. Who knows? Let's wait and see, guys.
Gets people on the edge of their seat and just like, let's see.
Audience engagement.
It's an interesting look at celebrity culture and tabloid journalism, especially for the 1940s. That's because that's the whole like premise of the film. The whole premise of the film is like, yeah, there's this girl and she's rich and she's getting married again, so report on it.
So that's the thing I find fun about it is like, can you imagine a time where the news wasn't, just surrounded with random, I don't know, rappers that I don't care about or whatever, and it was just like, this person's got money.
Yeah,
because she doesn't do anything. She's not famous for anything apart from just being rich.
Yeah,
and also being divorced. I guess I don't know. Like,
yeah,
isn't that like the headline at the beginning, where it's like it's an article and it's saying like socialite Tracy blah 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 blah, ex-wife of this person. It's like, why does that matter? Who cares? Like, what?
Well, it's because at that time period, a woman getting divorced.
Yeah, I suppose.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Bold.
I like the still camera as it lets just these class actors do their thing.
Yeah,
there's that one moment where we have Cary Grant, James Stewart, and Ruth Hussey just in that room, and then we learn Cary Grant walks in oddly like a villain for some reason.
Yeah,
like,
because he kind of is.
Well, no, but he walks in like he's about to bat someone. Do you know what I mean? He looks like a Bond villain.
Like he's about to bat someone again, is what I think. I think is what you're trying to say.
Like he's gonna just dart for Liz.
But he does kind of do a bit of a. I know what you mean. He walks in like he's gonna whip out the golden gun,
like dead-eyed, just.
Yeah, should have a
like,
bowler hat with a razor blade in it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but
it's a nice Odd Job reference there.
Yeah,
Pulled that one out. Pulled that one out my ass.
No, I get it.
No. I'm just proud of myself. I'm like, Christ, that's niche.
Odd Job's not niche.
Is he not? He's only in one of them, isn't he?
He's a Goldfinger, like the most like.
Yeah, well, it's no Skyfall, is it?
I mean, it isn't. I mean, I agree with you. You know,
he's no Jaws.
For one film.
Bring Jaws back, by the way. Come on.
What do you mean? It was Batista.
Yeah, exactly. You're telling me that if Dave Batista wasn't playing Jaws, that Spectre would have been better, like infinitely.
I mean, I don't think that would. If Batista had if Batista had a grill, that wouldn't have made Spectre better.
It would save the whole movie.
He's got shiny teeth. Sorted.
Yeah, the chomp 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 chomp. Good on him.
Yeah, I like that. Just like that little moment. I just like, you know what? Again, there's something about movie stars back in this time period that all you needed to do was just hold a camera and just let them go.
Yeah.
I just like that. I like that part of like film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like film back then. Obviously, they were just more so restricted in terms of what they would. It's like it was budgetary things in the sense like just put the camera there and they could just say their lines. So
yeah,
the actors had to be really good. In order to, they didn't have any of the. It's not like we'll fix it in post. It's like what was post back then? They snipped film. You know what I mean? It's like that was it. So
and it makes it more theatrical, which I like.
Yeah, and obviously the film's based on a play, and boy, can you tell? Boy, can you tell?
Call blimey.
Boy, is there just a lot of that took me a bit off guard when I first watched it because I was like, "There's just this film is just a lot of just let me just watch them talk for minutes."
Yeah, and I think that might be somewhere that I've kind of fallen down with it.
And I grew to like that over time. Like at first I wasn't too hot on it because I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But like I think it's like, again, one of my favorite expressions is just generally, it involves the Big Lebowski. It's like, right, you watch it once, and once you get the plot out the way with, that's when you can actually like the film. Because that's when you can, once you're done worrying about like, wait, what's happening? You can then just watch it. And that's kind of what's happened to me with Philadelphia Story. Like right now I got all like all this plot that feels far too convoluted for what it is for a first viewing, I think. Once you got that out of the way with, I've just been able just to enjoy like, let me just watch these actors just act. Let me just watch the situations that they get into. Type of thing.
Do you know which part I do find quite convoluted about the plot, which I'm sure we're gonna get onto any second now, to be honest. Introducing Uncle Willie as your dad, and then your dad shows up. I mean, first of all, hey, if you're going to argue with your dad all the time, don't invite your dad.
I don't think she did she? Oh, no, yeah, she did.
She did. She talks about it in the first time we see her, and I'm like, well, why did you invite him then if you're just going to argue with him? And then why were you not expecting him? Like, I don't know what's going.
Because he's a neglectful bloke.
Yeah, I guess, but like, I don't know. When Uncle Willie shows up, also a saving grace of this for me of this movie is how she says Uncle Willie.
Uncle Willie.
Uncle Willie. It's just like Willie. It's just like all the way through, and she keeps saying it. It's fantastic. Well done, everyone.
Uncle Willie.
Like Uncle Willie. But it's like how
it's the American posh voice.
Yeah, I love it. But it's like, who are you trying to? I guess they're trying to save face because the press is there or whatever. But like, who cares if your dad's there or not? Just say, "Oh, he's coming later." I don't know. It's weird.
Well, no, because that's why they brought like when Uncle Willie was like, "Oh, father," because they didn't want it to be like, "Oh, the dad's not showing up," so they just made him the dad. And then,
I suppose.
Then the dad was there, so they're like,
he
Uncle
becomes
Willie.
Uncle Willie.
Uncle Willie. I got here Jimmy Stewart and the butler interaction over the spoon is good, funny stuff for me. I really like it.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I specifically put quality physical comedic acting by Jimmy Stewart there.
Yeah.
It's just the bit where like he's got it, he puts it down, and he's about to leave like the room again, and he just flashes Blaze and be like, see. He's just a treasure.
He's just charming, isn't he?
He's just so good at everything. This man is just great.
God bless that guy.
I love watching him in any film when he just being an absolute charmer. It's the bit where he's just, and it's like when like Dexter just walks back in the room and he just puts like a vase down and went, "Oh, I thought you were that butler." You know fine well. Like, although we've only seen one thing with that, like it's like it's just been a continuous thing where the butler's just kept poking his head in, like, "Oi," and then it's like, "Come on,
stop it."
I got and continuing the funny Jimmy Stewart isms.
Yes.
I got Jimmy Stewart being cautious of Diana just speaking French is also just really funny to me. How his reaction is just like,
yeah, it's like, what the fuck is this?
Like he's like, what is this? What is this?
Like, so he's just an alien. Like he's like, what is going on? Also, I'm kind of on his side because why are you doing that? I don't know what's she trying to achieve?
They were trying to like take the mick with it all. That's what it was. That's what it is.
Yeah.
When Dexter was like, right, the reporters and all that, I went, all right, then we'll give them something then.
Yeah, give them something to report on. But then also, like, I don't know, just give them sarcastic answers. Like, make fun of them that way. Why are you trying to pretend to be a French piano playing, singing ballerina or whatever?
Because it's a comedy film from the 40s, Robbie.
What was... Were funny jokes not invented until the 60s?
Hey,
so what?
Hey!
Hey now! You wash your mouth out with soap.
You laughed at things from It's a Wonderful Life. Shut up.
Yeah, I did. I like that movie. That's a good one. Also, bloody, what's it called? I don't know, The People versus OJ Christmas. The People versus OJ Christmas. What's that movie called? Why am I struggling with that so much?
Miracle on 34th Street.
Miracle on 34th Street. That was good.
The People versus OJ Christmas. I want a shot of Santa Claus pegging it in like a car.
I would like someone to make someone can make a fan-made poster of that out of the People vs. O.J. Simpson's poster and just put Chris Kringle's face on it. That'd be great. Cheers.
I want the whole series, but in black and white and deep fake Chris Kringle instead of Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh dear God. Oh, an email.
Right.
Sorry. God.
Yeah, that was funny as well. And that's from the 40s. But what I put specifically about Jimmy Stewart in like this role is like he does a lot of like really just small acting bits, and I think it's really cool character building stuff. That either it's hang on a minute, have I got like no, never mind. Right, because this is one thing I learned about like when doing Love Bethany and talking to Joe a lot more when he was acting stuff. He did a lot of just small little character bits that was only essential for him to just do.
Yeah.
Or like there would be things when I would give him little directions, like, "Oh, we'll do this," or like he would talk to me about like little stuff like that. And it wouldn't be anything in the script either. It would just be, right, this is what it's gonna be, type of thing. Like little things like that. And there's a lot of what Jimmy Stewart does in this film. There's a lot that. What I think this is what I find like amusing a few times as well, where he just does either a little thing, and it's just not mentioned. And it looks like almost he just did it to just do it, really. And there's one particular bit where I know it was improvised, and I'll get to it when we get to that scene because it's a bit in the IMDb trivia as well.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's a little like small character things like that. And I also got as well specifically like the light in the cigarette and burning his fingers. It's like it's not the focus of the scene, but it's like good comedic value to me.
Yeah,
like,
it's just little things that kind of humanize him.
Like I feel like it's like even like things like we get again. We mentioned it within the Some Like It Hot episode. How like if it's a joke, they have to focus in on that being the joke. Like if this was Kevin Hart lighting a cigarette and it burnt his hand, it would have to be a big like. Right now, just get a single on Kevin now, and have him like then go like Butterfingers, but or whatever. I don't know. But like it simply was a thing where like. He just did a thing where he burnt his hand a bit. It's like, and then it was never brought up. It's not like Tracy or Liz was like, "Are you all right there?" It's just like it's just happened.
Yeah, it's not like he was like, little thing just kind of fell out of my finger or whatever.
It makes it like all these little things almost makes because obviously he's a bit of a straight man, like in terms of like seriousness, but with all these little bits, almost just makes it out like no matter what, just does anything go right for this guy? Like even,
I don't know if it does.
Like that's I think I like that a lot. It's like no matter how hard he tries, no matter like how like much he's planned something, no matter how like intelligent he is or whatever, just things just don't go right for this dude.
Yeah,
like which
and God bless him,
which makes it funny. Which that makes things funny to me. It's like you could be a perfectly good dude, you could do everything right, you could be really intelligent, you could be really nice and whatever. But just everything seems to just go wrong.
Yeah.
Type of thing. And there's a lot of that with Jimmy Stewart in this film, which I like. I also I think this film is just home to a really interesting ensemble of characters for me. And I don't know, I think it's one of these things like when I realized it was when everyone started like just turning up at the house where it's like, oh, they're all defined characters. With their own characteristics, and
they're all weird little
little
people.
And I could see a lot of comedic value in all this type of thing.
Yeah.
With a specific note with me saying like I get vibes of Crazy Stupid Love, and it was that one moment where it was like, oh father, oh Uncle Willie. In my head I just got flashbacks to the end, like towards in the third act of Crazy Stupid Love, where they're all like. It's like, wait, why are you here? No, wait, why are you here? This is my daughter.
Yeah.
What? Like, I just
what?
It's like, who are you? I'm David Lindhagen. I just got vibes of just like that whole like thing with it, where it's like, I could see something like that happen, and so it kind of does, but not to the
extent.
extreme. Not to the extreme.
Yeah.
Although someone does get smacked in the face.
Yeah, boy, does he. And he
sells that so well, man.
He takes it like a champ. He's straight down on the floor. But then the guy who hits him is the one that goes, "How'd you feel?" It's like, bad. You just punched me in the face. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I put this as well. This is another thing that I was a bit like, I put like, I'm not sure how I feel about Dexter's abusive alcoholism used as a punchline.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about there's a lot of casual, candid lines about it. He goes like, yeah, I hit the bottle. What else do you hit? But that wasn't a line, but I feel like he may as well have said that.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's a strange thing to be making jokes about. And it's also supposed to be like it's supposed to be endearing in terms of like what a cheeky chap. It's like,
it is. It's weird, yeah. And it's like, but the thing is, like, Cary Grant is a cheeky, charming fella anyway. I don't just let him. There's a lot of CK Dexter though that lets him just be a bit of a cheeky chappy. But then there's also this thing about him that's like, oh, you're a bit. I don't.
Oh, you're a little bit awful, actually.
you're kind of gaslighting a lot.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah. I don't know about that one.
Again, do we look at it and go? Do we look at it and go like it's the time? Yes, but also, let's admit it doesn't age well at all in terms of
his space is solidified on the bad person pile, on the Robbie's bad person pile of the movie.
I can understand it. I can get it.
Yeah.
I don't understand the Macaulay O'Connor bad person bit, but maybe we'll get to it.
Yeah. Okay.
This is where the film gets quite interesting to me, actually. I put the depiction of people's relationship with alcohol is an interesting one for the 1940s. Only, surprisingly enough, this film is a lot about people's relationship with alcohol.
Yeah, some people drink, some people are like, I don't drink. Some people drink too much and hit their wife.
Some people's reasons for drinking are different. It's very interesting, and especially for for this time period. I think, because we'll get to it, but I'll say a bit about it now. I like how because we see the reason why Tracy just decides to go binge drinking is because she gets absolutely just flat out just flattened by Dexter at the pool, massively hurt, and then her dad just absolutely just steamrolls her as well. So it's I would probably be and along with complicated emotions romantically about everything that's going on the day before your wedding, especially as well, and you've just had two people just annihilate you verbally. It's maybe I would be stuff it, just more champagne. I don't need any of this type of thing. It's interesting again, especially for 1940. One line that I got on here, which I like. This isn't a funny line. This is just a quality line. Is when Tracy says, "I don't want to be worshipped. I just want to be loved." It's just. And one thing I realized one thing I realized watching it this time around, I like her arc. In Tracy's arc, in the sense of she's clearly sick of just about people's perception being we need to just kiss the floor that she walks on, and she clearly doesn't want that. It's again, at the end, I haven't made a note of this, but when she's about to get married, she asks her dad, "How do I look?" And he goes, "Like a queen, like a royal queen." And she goes, "That's great. I feel like a human." It's nice one. That's nice.
Nice.
And he goes, "And I feel proud." It's that's a nice line exchange. And I like that in the sense right, I actually feel like I'm being treated like just a person and not like an object, which is cool. I like it.
And I suppose that plays into the sort of exploration of tabloid culture in terms of she's not just it's not just a public perception thing. She is actually a person, and she doesn't have to do all that jazz,
which is kind of I mean, I kind of want to make that its own separate thing because I'm thinking about it now, and I'm thinking that it might end up going quite its own topic. But I'll say, I think that's why she gets a bit attracted to Macaulay, because he's not treating her like that.
Yeah, I mean that's a very real thing that happens a lot of the time. A lot of celebrities have just regular people that are their partners.
Yeah. It's not someone else who's in the spotlight. It's just someone they knew.
Because it's probably much nicer.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to being this celebrity and this multi-millionaire celebrity are both together now, and let's watch the relationship like a goddamn hawk.
Jesus Christ, it's a nightmare. It's a good it's a film that can definitely be looked upon as again, it's subtle in the sense of it's not about that, but it's it can be looked at in a sense of celebrity culture.
Yeah.
In that sense. It actually would it got remade into high society in the 50s with Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby and Grace Kelly.
Oh, really?
It got remade into a musical. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, if there's one person that makes great films, it's Frank Sinatra. Have you ever seen the original Ocean's 11 with him?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen any Oceans, have I? Really?
Horrific. You've never seen any. You've not seen any of the Ocean's 11 films?
We know that you know this.
Do I? I thought
Yes.
you'd seen the Clooney one.
No.
The sexiest film ever made.
I
in
disagree.
the eyes of Robert Tweedale.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, but you haven't seen it though.
No, but I can. Okay.
It's the sexiest movie.
Okay.
Sorry.
But yeah, I would be interested in actually seeing this remade contemporarily.
Yeah. It'd
Like-
probably be. It feels like it would probably be Lady Gaga.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah. That's exactly what I just thought of. I was like, right. It'd probably be. Okay, who would it be? It'd
Right,
be,
not who I want. Who would it be?
Yeah, it would be Lady Gaga. Would be one of them.
Would it be Bradley Cooper? Would Bradley Cooper remake this and just
No, surely not.
Would he be the would he be Dexter?
No, I think
And then Casey Affleck is
absolutely not. Macaulay would probably be it's probably Gosling in it.
No, we want to be likable.
Yeah, but in that sense, it would probably be Gosling.
No, it would end up being Gosling. I like Gosling. Want to put that out there.
It would be him doing his La La Land shtick. That would be what he would be doing.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? It would be him doing his La La Land shtick.
Yeah.
And would it be Bradley Cooper? Would he be Dexter?
Maybe.
Even if he's not the one making it, I can just see that. I can see.
I could see that happening, and George can be whoever. I don't know, Kevin Hart. Get him in. Throw him in there.
No, do you know what it would be? It would be like I don't know. It would be like a guy like Seth Rogen. You know what I mean? It would be like a comedic guy that's kind of doing something serious that we all like, but he's not.
Yeah.
You know, but he's not Ryan Gosling or Bradley Cooper. Come on.
No.
Do
you know who I could see as Dexter? Like one of the Skarsgårds. Just throw any of them in there. Not Stellan.
Bill?
One of the other ones. Yeah, Bill. Or like I don't know. What's the other one? The one that was Tarzan. What's he doing?
Stellan, isn't it?
No, Stellan's the dad. He's the Mamma Mia one.
Oh, he isn't.
Who's done other things, but I just know him as the Mamma Mia guy. Sorry.
Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah, that's him. Throw him in there.
The Northman himself.
Yeah, the Northman's own. I know Stellan
Great
Skarsgård
film.
as being the Mamma Mia guy and the one that got his ass out in Thor 2.
Yeah.
He's probably done very good things. He's probably done very good things in his time, but
I think he's a very acclaimed actor. I think.
yeah, probably. But you know,
I got but yeah. Again, we'll get more into that as well because I feel like that's the main point of the film anyway. It's the whole relationship thing. I think that's the thing where where I might accidentally end up getting real. We'll see. I say accidentally because that's not the point, but like knowing me, I'll bring me into it, and I'll go too far with it. All I'm saying is, she could have called me back. That's not what's going to happen.
Right,
that's not what's going to happen.
You're okay. Oh dear Christ!
That's going to be the comments. Is Oscar okay?
Is he? Is all right? Is this guy okay?
That's the arc of season 4. We're going to get to the finale, and it's going to be like.
It's the slow devolving of Oscar Fitchett. Dear God, help him.
It was bound to happen.
Yeah, one of these days.
One of these days. It's all about the he said, she said. I okay, yeah. I got I don't know what this was. I just put God, I love Jimmy Stewart as a romantic lead. I can't remember what was. I put
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even need context. I can get behind
I
that.
love that. Oh, but the comment below that I put that man can make me buy him in a relationship with any woman. Because at the beginning of this, I was like, oh, I don't know, like if I could really see Macaulay and
Tracy.
My God. Tracy. Jesus Christ.
Red, as she's often known in this film.
Red,
despite having grey hair. That's a joke because the movie's in black and white, Oscar.
No, I know.
If you yeah. Yeah, well.
A joke about black and white that I don't get. Who do you take me for?
It's just because you forgot to laugh, so I don't I didn't know if you heard it.
Oh, sorry. Let me just mute you and let me just continue.
Oh dear Christ.
Yeah, no, that's right. Because even like when they met in the library, I wasn't even like, "Oh, this is sweet." I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever."
Yeah.
But I can't.
I have a note about the library scene.
Go on.
Sorry. I thought it was like the middle of the night because she's wearing a weird pajama hat. You know,
scarf,
you know, like
headscarf.
No, you know, like that
Oh
hat
no,
that
that
Scrooge wears, where it's just a big dangly ball thing. She was
You
wearing
thought
one
she
of them, so I thought she was in like traditional pajamas. Yeah, I thought she was in like traditional pajamas, and then they stepped outside. It was broad daylight. I was like, "What's she doing?" She's had great outfits in this up until that point, but like that power suit that she's wearing at the beginning when she's gonna ride the horse.
Oh yeah.
Christ, good on her. Unbelievable. Good for you.
Well, we also learned about season 4 is Robbie loves commenting on the fashion that people wear.
Yeah. Yeah, I was, I'm going to say it once for the rest of my life. I'll just say, Slay Queen. Good on you.
Nice. That was also clean, so if we ever get to a point where we have sound bites of this show, that's going to be a sound bite.
What, Slay Queen?
You saying Slay Queen as well.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's Robbie's Slay Queen section. Robbie, what's the rating of this outfit?
Slay Queen. No emotion in it whatsoever.
I like the thought of it as well being just like the Skype like audio quality as well. So it's like Slay Queen. Just
Oh god.
I bet you love that, Lewis. Hey-oh.
Yeah, enjoy that one.
You're gonna need to. What does that mean? Anyway, but yeah, I think I can't remember what point it was. It was just like there was a certain point when I think it was like just before the ball, just before the party. And there was like a certain point where they were talking. I was like, God, I want... And it's all because of Jimmy Stewart. I don't know what he did, but I'm like, God, I want them to get together. I shit these two really hard. It's like that, again, that man can act against anyone. I'm like, I don't want them to be together. Vertigo was
just sells the chemistry on his own.
Vertigo was a bit different, but that was a different Jimmy Stewart. That was a different Jimmy Stewart. That wasn't this Jimmy
very
Stewart.
Much so.
That was intentional. But again, the man could do that and this so well. The man can be sleazy and creepy. And then the most charming human being ever.
Yeah.
No, but as you said, he sells it just on himself.
Yeah,
amazing.
Just on his own. He manages to sell the chemistry. I don't know how that works, but he does it.
I don't think we have anyone like that these days. Like a guy who could literally, like a leading man who could probably be a romantic lead with any actor, like anyone.
I don't know. Chris Pine came to mind. He's a good lad, but he's not like that level. You know.
Is Joseph Gordon-Levitt there? I don't know. I think there's... Because he's...
No, because I feel like he's... I can see people finding him weird.
Yeah, no, he's good in the sense of, like, he can first come off, like, really charming and sweet, but then it also comes... Again, it's the roles he gets given. But then it gets, like, all right, mate. Yeah. All right, mate, maybe. Like, 10 Things I Hear About You, 500 Days of Summer. Like, it's like...
Yeah.
But to be fair...
So I dial it back a bit.
But to be fair, in 10 Things I Hear About You, I really did want him to get with that girl. So he has that to him with it.
Yeah.
But again, Jimmy Stewart, it's literally anyone. Any act. Like, I could imagine him, like, just like I feel like he could pull anyone. He's a man that just has that, like, power.
And I'm sure he did in his day. You know?
He did. He was a massive bachelor. Apparently, it got to the point where, like, I think Henry Fonda was like, "Are you going to settle down at any point? Can you chill out?" Do you know what's funny? Because him and Henry Fonda, obviously, they were like best mates and roommates and all that stuff. And they were different even in the sense, like, politically, like, or like romantically as well. Like but what's funny is, like, Henry Fonda basically married his high school sweetheart and just stuck with her for life, basically. Apparently a bit to the detriment, according to his children, Peter Fonda and Jane Fonda. A lot of the times they were like, yeah, he was a bit of an arse at times. It might benefit if they divorced at some point, but he still stuck with it a few times. But apparently Jimmy Stewart was the opposite in the sense, like, he was just a total bachelor until he married.
That guy was a revolving door.
Apparently so. I've got the book of Hank and Jim, like the Henry Fonda and Jimmy Stewart like thing. So I need to give that a read and stuff. But apparently like that was that, and they were also, but they were very different politically as well. So if you think about Jimmy Stewart being an absolute revolving door, as you said, Robbie, you would think he was liberal. Very conservative, apparently, in his political views.
Oh.
Very conservative,
wow.
apparently. Whereas Henry Fonda was very liberal. So it's interesting. But apparently they just kept that to themselves in the sense like, well, that's not important to like talk about with us. so anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, that man. Again, that's the thing as well. It's not like he's like a hulking like dude or anything, or like with a chiseled jaw or anything. He just looks like a dude.
Sorry, chiseled jaw.
Just stop it. Sorry.
Stop it. This is the clean podcast.
we slipped up a few
I don't know what you
times.
mean. He's not like, I know, but he's not like big peak male specimen or whatever. He's, you know.
No, he just look, but
he's got that goddamn charisma about him.
That's exactly what it is. Again, I know it's scripted. I know we've seen him just as scripted characters, but you look at him in like as George Bailey and as Macaulay Connor, and he just has something doing where it's like that can't all just be directed and written for him. There's something there in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's something charming about the guy.
Yeah, where he just brings that anyway. And I put as well, and he also might be my favorite drunk acting performer. He has
that guy.
So good drunk performance, man.
Yeah. I mean, in this one, he just keeps shouting the guy's name over and over again. Like a lunatic.
Right, it's him and Mads Mikkelsen are the two best drunk performances I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
How about that as a comparison?
It's pretty good. I would say the Holy Trinity, if we were going to throw a third one in there, would probably be, I'd say Nick Frost in The World's End. You know that bit where he's like, so fuck it, and they just punches through that door. Pretty good. Pretty good.
And I got some lines here. I think this is when I start relating to Macaulay Connor.
Oh God, here we go.
When he got drunk.
Okay.
I think
very good.
I think no, but I could ask for confirmation about this as well from you. But like watching him, I'm like, I feel something is familiar here. I feel familiar. First of all, I love that party scene anyway. Just generally, as small as it was, I liked it. I liked just that's when we started feeling a bit more character dynamic back and forth and like an actual character evolution. I put Tracy's night from being out down to going for being out. What died right here?
What?
I put Tracy's basically like choosing to drink for the fun of it. It's still really timely. Like for the reason, as I said to you, in the sense of like how she just kind of went, I've had a bad day, stuff it. Yeah, I'll just have more champagne. Why not?
Yeah,
I've seen people in that situation.
Yes, very much so.
I've seen, I think in every night out, I've at least seen one person who's like, stuff it. I'm just gonna go on a drinking. It's like, okay, you do that.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's nice to see that. Oh no, it's always been a thing within human consciousness.
Yeah,
almost.
I suppose. Yeah.
Oh no, I think it's refreshing to see it at this time period as well. Like, and I think it might be in my notes, but I don't know. I think I put like, it's just nice to almost see like, it's a film that weirdly feels like it should be a 2010s film about people in their 20s being really confused about romance. But it's a film from 1940 about people in their 30s. Although there is a point, Macaulay is a guy who's just turned 30 really, so you could argue in the sense like that's a character who's kind of like looking back and being like, well, my 20s are over now, so what is it? You know, it is a it is it can you can probably fit this in a subgenre of being a quarter life crisis film quite well, actually. I think in the sense of people.
Even from the perspective of Tracy as a character.
Yeah.
From like I can't remember if she says in the movie when she first got married. But wasn't she like 19 or something?
She was young. I think.
Yeah. So like, having go back into that again, starting again with someone else. That's pretty. Seeing it from her eyes, that's pretty quarter life crisisy.
Yeah, and I'll get. That's definitely going to be a separate thing to talk about. I've just realised there because there's definitely going to be something that I'm going to be talking about loads. So I'll get through the film, and we'll probably end up talking a bit about. It's mainly revolving around the relationship, the relationship of Tracy and Macaulay. It's mainly revolving around that.
Oh, okay.
Which is my favourite part of the film, I will say. Quotes that I've got. These are funny quotes for me. I got boy, champagne, just the bottle. I'm going on a picnic.
Do you know what I hated about the bit when he was drunk? It's where he's just being a dick to the taxi driver.
Oh no, he's
just being a prat for no reason.
No, and then the other funny line. Oh, when he goes like, "Quick, follow that taxi." What taxi? No, I'm just kidding.
He was like, "No, I'm just joking. That was pretty funny, wasn't it?" No, dude, just get in the car.
That is funny. What do you mean?
Imagine you're that taxi driver, right? You've been on shift for hours, and you've just been waiting outside this goddamn party for someone decides to come home. That guy comes out, he's like, "Hey, follow that taxi." Nah, I'm just kidding. Oh, wasn't that funny? No, man, just get in the car. I'm tired. And then he'd go home and he's like, "Now get yourself back to the ball before you turn into a pumpkin and some mice or whatever."
That was exactly my next line that I found really funny. This is where Cinderella gets off. Now you hurry back to the ball before you turn into a pumpkin and 3 white mice.
I mean, and you just know that he was spouting more idiocy on the drive that we didn't see.
Phenomenal drug performance. It's
phenomenal. My God.
It's amazing.
Just,
because the next line that I put this, and again, I love the next scene that follows as well with Macaulay and Dexter. Just a big fan of it. Where's the piece of IMDb trivia that I want to say for this? Here it is. There is a bit where, the film was shot in 8 weeks and required no retakes. During the scene where James Stewart hiccups when drunk, you can see Cary Grant looking down and grinning. Since the hiccup wasn't scripted, Grant was on the verge of breaking out laughing and had to compose himself quickly. Stewart apparently spontaneously thought of hiccuping in the drunk scene without telling Grant. When he began hiccuping, Grant turned to Stewart saying, "Excuse me, the scene required only 1 take."
Brilliant. Good on him.
So
that's good stuff. I like that.
I put one bit. I said, "Drunk Jimmy rocking up to sober Carrie's house is something that is bound to happen between me and you, Robbie."
Oh yeah, one of these days. I mean,
that was legitimately my first thought when I saw him just getting out the taxi. Like, Dexter. I'm like,
Dexter!
I'm gonna find myself at 3 a.m. getting out of a taxi, going, "Robbie." You're like, "What?" And then
like, what is this?
And then you just let me in your house, and then I spout my mind,
just spouting nonsense. This guy is just like, what is he even saying? And he starts like, I'll tell you what was funny when his assistant comes to the house and is like, "I've come to collect the body of
Macaulay Culkin."
Brilliant. That's a good joke. Well done, everyone.
I got the line before that when the doorbell rings and then Macaulay just goes, "Don't interrupt me."
Yeah. It's so stupid.
It's so good. I love it so much because it's just the dynamic with everyone is so perfect. It's so, it's cinematically funny, I think, but it's also just very relatable. Like everything about that, where you just got your 2 sober mates being like, "God, yeah,
come on, man.
I've got her who's also just wasted. Can I get my mate who's wasted in your house?"
Yes.
Right now? It's so like really.
Everyone needs to go home. I'm so sorry for your inconvenience.
It's so good because again, it's so just funny but just relatable.
Yeah.
And I like the fact of like when he's just writing the letter thing and they have like this little plan or whatever. But there's also just that one bit where Dexter goes up to him and then just like Macaulay just has a gun. Just
yeah.
Just pulls out a rifle.
Where do you get that from? It just...
well, it's cupboard, but I just imagine him going like, hey, what's this?
Yeah. That's how accidental murders happen, Macaulay. Put the rifle down. What are you doing? Jeez.
Yeah, I've just got more quotes. Again, these are like more like good quotes I find, and we could get more on. And again, we'll get more onto like the relationship between Macaulay and Tracy, because I realize I've skipped over a bit, but I'll just get through the notes and then we can get into that side of things.
Yeah.
One of the quotes I've got is when Tracy asks Macaulay saying, "I'm not made out of bronze," and then he goes, "No, you're made out of flesh and blood." It's just nice. That's again, that's the first little bit of her actually connecting with him for a reason why she wants to connect to.
Yeah, I mean that's as we were saying earlier. That's the bit of like he's not gonna see her like a weird celebrity thing that's just not even a human. Like he's gonna talk to her like she's a regular person because he doesn't really care.
Yeah,
so
really
good on.
Big fan of this these scenes as well. Just this scene as well of just them just hanging out.
Yeah.
It's absolutely heaving down with rain. Jesus Christ and heart.
Is it really?
Right now. Oh my goodness! I'm so glad I shut my window. I was debating. I was like, I'm boiling right now, but Jesus Christ!
It's sunny as out here.
The heavens have opened in Hartlepool.
Yeah, that was a few hours ago here.
Oh, so we got it. It's
moved over to you. Sorry, man.
It's fine. It's not like I'm out. I'm sat outside recording the podcast.
Yeah, having a lovely day.
Again, this I can't remember where this bit. I think it was when Dexter was talking to Liz, and he goes, "Why don't you marry him?" And she goes, "He's got a lot to learn. I don't want to get in the way of that." And I just got nice.
Nice.
Again, this is what I mean. I really like the writing in this film because of little dialogue-y moments like that. In the sense of like, they're not big important pieces. They're just like, oh, that's a nice piece of human interaction.
Yeah.
And it's stuff again. It's like, which again, this is why I kind of have a slight issue with the ending. We'll get to it. But there's a lot of moments in this film that aren't traditionally romantic storytelling. That do deal with romance storytelling in a bit more of like unconventional ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, in that sense where it's like, well, you like him, so just marry him. Again, in any other generic thing, it would be like, yeah, I'll run away and happily ever after. But it's like, nah, I'm aware, like, he's not at all, like, a fully formed person in his head yet.
Yeah.
So I'll just rather leave that, because otherwise it would just be bad for both of us. As much as she's got her life together, as much as she likes him, she's like, he doesn't know anything yet. He doesn't know himself yet. So I'll just leave him. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I got Jimmy Stewart singing Over the Rainbow. It was absolutely iconic, and I want more of that.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Stops, sees.
Yeah, stops, sees everybody. That's pretty funny. But then it's like,
goes, keep singing. Somewhere.
That's pretty good. But also, why would you tell him to keep singing? He's not good at it. I don't know. It's like, I don't know.
Because we're all hammered. We're all wasted.
I guess. I don't.
Everything's nice at that stage of things.
I suppose.
Also, again, good scene. He sells the punch. Jimmy Stewart acts brilliantly when Cary Grant just bats him.
Just decks him out of nowhere.
Well, it's not out of nowhere.
Well, not out of nowhere, but you know.
But yeah, I also got I like the I'm all here for the bromance of Macaulay and Dexter in that just one moment where they just kind of just lay on the floor together. I'm like, there's somewhere in time where Jimmy Stewart and Cary Grant did a broy film together.
Yeah,
that should have happened. And there's a scene right there that explains it perfectly. You know, there should have been a Some Like It Hot, but instead of Jack Lemmon and oh my God, what was his name?
The other guy.
Yes. Oh, I feel terrible. But instead of those two, it's Jimmy Stewart and Cary Grant.
Yeah.
There's somewhere where those two are dressed as women.
Yes. There's a timeline out there where that exists.
Tony Curtis.
There you go.
That was his name.
Nice.
Yes. Again, I just like the dynamic between these actors. Again, they're all good actors and they all have really good chemistry, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put it's oddly a really contemporary way of telling their love story. I've already kind of explained a lot of everything here. The depiction of the morning after is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, she's like, what the fuck is even going on? She gets outside and her eyes are just closed. She's like, I don't think I can open my eyes anymore. I think this is it.
Uncle Willie is just waking up and like the butler like, your carriage is like, God, don't shout. And it's just, and then going over the the carriage, like, oh my God. It's like, what's the matter, Uncle Willie? Oh, nothing. My head just fell off.
Yeah. That was confusing to me. So they were at the house, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the sister wants to go on the horse and carriage.
Mm.
And Uncle Willie goes with her. And they end up back at the house.
They just loop.
Why?
So they're, I don't know.
Funny?
For that scene.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I should probably think less about this. I don't know.
We'll get to it now, and I'll say it now.
Okay.
You can't understand certain eras of comedy, is what I've realized.
No, I can't. I just don't.
My thing is as well, Guy, everyone go back to when we talked about City Lights, the Charlie Chaplin film, and the boxing scene. How I'm like, it's funny. And you're like, but what's the ref doing? I'm like, you're thinking too much into this, Robbie. Just look at how funny the imagery is. And you're like, no, but the ref's breaking the rules. I went, Robbie, that's not the point. Just look at that's not the point of the scene.
I just can't. I can't find it that funny. I'm sorry.
You bring logic into too many things.
I know,
watch the film. I'm not saying turn your brain off. I'm just saying just look at the film as the imagery and not what the real world thing is. This is another example. Again, the example being earlier in this episode where you went, right, you imagine being that taxi driver. The taxi driver's not meant to be a three-dimensional character. He's meant to just be a reason for Jimmy Stewart to get to Cary Grant's house.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
It's just funny and charming, and that's what it is.
I suppose. I don't know. I'm starting to sound like Eeyore. Oh, bother.
Do you know what we should do? Because I wanted to do a poll. You know, like how we did the rice pudding poll?
Yeah.
We need to do a poll. Are you Team Robbie or Team Oscar? Should we do it?
Yes, absolutely we should.
I'll do that right now. I'll put that on the Instagram
Put it on there right now, and I'm going to vote Team Robbie. It's going to be 100%.
Well, I'll vote Team Oscar. What do you mean?
It's going to be 100% me from the off. And then it's going to be 50-50 split.
Hang on a minute. Give it big. I'll put like a... There you go. There's a bit for audio-only listeners. There was just silence there. I took a selfie.
I did a little smile.
Follow us on the Intermission podcast on Instagram for more poll-based stuff. I'll put...
Where's the poll?
I haven't put what team are you? ? Team Oscar or
Team Robbie?
Robbie. And that's the only options. There's no...
Through Team Robbie, you get free healthcare.
That's not true. He's giving you the Nigel Farage answer. He's giving you Nigel Farage answers. Don't listen to the man.
I'm sorry.
Please vote for me. Please
vote for me. Dear Christ. Let's not talk about politics, because dear God.
God, no, I'd rather not.
Dear God.
Right, so where are we at? Oh, yeah, hang on a minute. It's uploading. The poll is uploading. There you go.
Is it up?
It is up.
Hell yeah.
And I will vote Team Oscar.
I'm Team Robbie.
It's 100% Team Oscar, and I'm just
on
that now. And we'll revisit that poll at the end of the episode.
Nice.
Oh, bum. I should have
What?
tagged us in it to share it. It doesn't matter.
It's fine.
Doesn't matter. We get enough attraction on the stories on Intermission anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
I need my phone out to look at my notes. Oh yeah, and I put somehow the film made me come around to Tracy and Dexter getting back together. Not 100%, but still.
Nah.
Not 100%.
No.
But out of all the options, if she was going to get with anyone, it's Dexter. At the end of that film, if she's getting with anyone, it's Dexter.
Why? Explain to me why.
Because... Hang on, did I not put the quote down? Right. Oh, yeah, no, I did. I got it. Because George just didn't trust Tracy anyway, so there's clearly no trust anyway. So neither of those two are good for each other anyway. Tracy and George were never going to work out anyway. They just were not.
Okay.
There was never a working out point on that. And him and Tracy and Macaulay, it's a night. They had a nice romantic time. They had a nice romantic night.
Yeah.
But they exist as the one who got away. They don't exist as we should be happily ever after. And it's an example of when Macaulay goes, I got you in this mess, I'll get you out. I'll step in and marry you. It doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel like they should.
Yeah, maybe.
And out of everyone in there, Tracy is a mess. Dexter is also a mess. They're better for each other.
Okay, right. No. Okay. Let's look at this logic.
They shouldn't. They won't last, and they shouldn't last. But if she's getting with any three of them, if she's getting with any three of them, Dexter is the better option.
No, the better option is Jimmy Stewart. You can't be the one who got away until they get away. Like that doesn't mean anything. But Dexter, right? So, okay, I would be fine if they'd have gone, let's scrap the wedding and we're going to run off together and we're going to see if we can make it work, but we don't have to get married yet. Because you've been married before, he hit you that one time, he's a terrible bloke, it didn't work. What are you doing? He's done nothing into this movie to prove that he wouldn't do any of the shit that he did the first time again.
No, and I understand that. I'm not saying this is the best ending. I'm saying if she's getting with any of them.
They all suck.
Disagree.
They all suck.
Disagree.
George is an idiot. Macaulay, I mean, he's fine. The thing, I'll tell you why I didn't like Macaulay. Right.
All right. Let's get this out there.
Okay. Let's get this out there. Another reason I don't like the ending of this movie is because it's a snobs v slobs situation, right? It's a bit of a Pretty Woman situation, right? But
okay,
like,
film that I haven't seen. I just want to say. Okay,
it's a rich dude he gets with a prostitute.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Right. So in this sense, it's Tracy's the big socialite. Oh, she's got loads of money and all this and whatever. And Macaulay comes in and he's the grounded, down to earth working guy. He doesn't care about any of the celebrity stuff. And there's Dexter who's there, who is also incredibly rich, and they've been together before, and they definitely shouldn't get together again. But he's got loads of money and he's part of the celebrity lifestyle and blabbity bloobity blabbity, right? Mm-hmm. And so you're watching the movie, and you should. I didn't personally, but you should root for Macaulay because he's the working guy and whatever. And then at the end, when it should all come full circle and the underdog prevails, the rich person gets with the rich person. The cycle of richness continues, and what's the point?
Right. So you tell me what the best option is of Macaulay and Tracy getting together. Why?
Just because he's nice and he grounds her, and her whole arc is becoming grounded and not being this larger than life caricature of a person, and he grounds her nicely.
But you could also tell in the morning after that she doesn't like that there was a possibility they got together.
Well, then don't get with him. Then what I'm saying is the ideal ending of this movie is that she doesn't get with anybody and just fucks off.
No, that's what I've got. No, literally, I've got my note saying, ideally, I would have loved if Tracy decided to be single and all the dudes were just kind of like, welp.
Yeah, that's the best ending.
Like that is the ending that should have happened.
Yes.
Obviously, by us then but that would have been too ahead of its time. That would have been too ahead of its time.
But that's exactly what should happen.
Woman needs to get married to man. That's what.
Yeah.
It was at this point.
Yeah.
Which is why I would have, whatever. But that's how the ending should have been. It should have been like Tracy being like, I'm just not ready to be married. I just shouldn't. I just don't. You know what? No, I'm just not.
I don't want to be married. You're all awful. Goodbye.
Well,
I'm off.
You're awful. But and then like they're like, oh well.
Yeah.
First round's on me. Like that's what.
Exactly. Yeah.
It should be Tracy then going off like, you know what? I'm gonna just go on holiday. And then she's off. She's going on a boat. That's very And then
I'm off to Thailand to explore myself or something. I don't know.
She's off to be a monk. And then
I'm taking a gap year.
And then And then you got Dexter and George and Macaulay. Like, first round's on you, Dexter.
Yeah.
And they all get drunk together, and that's what they all walk off to the bar.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
That's the ideal.
That's the ideal ending. Why? Oh yeah, I never actually said why I didn't like Macaulay. I've basically been over this anyway, but it's because hey dude, that lady clearly likes you, and you clearly know that she likes you, and it's implied that you've maybe something's going on there. It's very heavily implied in the conversation that they have early doors that something's going on there because everyone's like, "Ooh, cripes! I'm gonna pull on my collar." I don't know about that. I can't say anything untowards that. And I know she says later on, "I don't want to marry him because he hasn't figured himself out or whatever," right? But I still feel as though he knows that she's right there. Also, the lady that you're flirting with is getting married in the morning. What are you doing? Stop, dude. Like, what? Come on. Go back to, I assume, the assistant that you're literally staying with whilst you're here. I imagine they're staying together. So, like, I don't know. Talk to her. She seems nice. And also, it seems nicer than Tracy does.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. I don't know if it's just like, I mean, me and fictional person Macaulay, whatever he's called,
Connor.
Macaulay Connor. Maybe we have different taste in women. Me and this fictional guy, but like she's clearly better. So what are you doing? I don't know. He's an idiot, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's a dumb fuck, but so am I.
But like,
sorry,
but I'm an imbecile.
Sorry.
But it's okay. But like, I'm an idiot. But I'm not like, come on.
When it comes to right, I'll get through these last few notes, then we'll get on to the Macaulay and Tracy whole thing.
Debacle.
That whole thing. I got good on Macaulay for not raping Tracy, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. In terms of the characters on this movie, good on you for not joining the pile.
And then I put, even if Tracy was a bit hurt that he didn't advance further, it's like, it was like, it was like, George, I'll have you know, nothing did happen. Yes, what happened was we swam, we shared some kisses. It was really sweet, actually. Wouldn't have minded if it kept going. And then what happened was I took her to the bedroom and I left her there and then I walked out. That is it. Then I came down and got punched in the face. That's what happened. And then she's like, was I really that? Am I really that unattractive? It's like, that's not the point. You were You were drunk off your mind, Tracy.
What I will say though is, right.
So I love his response, and then went like, well, no, Tracy, there's certain things there's certain ethics behind that would prevent me from doing anything to you in that state. You numpty.
Thing is though, right? If I was getting married, right, If
Yeah,
me
say
and
you get married.
say me and Julia are getting married, it's in a different country, a la I don't know, Ed Helms' wedding in The Hangover 2. Is that a niche enough reference for people? I don't know.
We're in Bangkok for Hangover Part 2, right?
Yeah, I get. Yeah, so we're on we've got to be on holiday, otherwise this doesn't work as a anecdote.
So you chose Bangkok.
Yeah, we're getting married in Bangkok, I guess. Right? So say we're getting married, and a photographer has come to the wedding to be the wedding photographer, and the night before, him and Julia go off somewhere, right? And I rediscover them two coming back to the villa, him holding her in his arms and singing Over the Rainbow for no reason.
They're
right?
soaked.
And they're absolutely drenched. And they get back, and then the next morning he's like, "I'll have you know, sir, I only kissed your wife." What the fuck? You still kissed my fiance the night before our wedding. That doesn't mean it. Just going, well, I didn't have sex with her. I just kissed her a lot. What? Don't do that. I'd rather you didn't, please. If that's all right. And actually, whilst I'm thinking about it, wedding's off. Why? What?
And then Julia turns to this photographer and goes, "You only kissed me?"
Yeah, you only kissed me? Am I that unattractive to you? I turn to her and go, "What are you doing? What is... You're having a go at him for not making you commit adultery? I don't know. What are you doing right now?" So it's just a big group of terrible people. I don't like any of them. You know what? For her being like, "Oh, what? You only kissed me and didn't make me have sex with another guy before the night of my wedding? You dickhead." For that, she's going on the bad person pile as well.
I thought she already was.
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know.
Everybody in this movie sucks. They're all terrible.
Except Liz. Liz is a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart, and George is alright, I suppose.
George has his faults.
Yeah. God.
Right. Okay, we'll get on to the the whole thing that I wanted to talk about the whole Macaulay and Tracy bit. And,
yeah, go for it.
I've been a big fan of this conversation. This has been a good one.
It's been a great one. I've really enjoyed myself.
I mean, it's early pickings at the minute, but I'll put this in top tier episodes so far. I've enjoyed this one so.
Absolutely.
I haven't laughed this much in an Intermission episode in a good while. Goddamn spectacles are fogged up. It is also 26 degrees in my room right now, so there's that as well.
It is warm. I don't know
boiling. Black clouds are once again approaching the house as well, so it's like I'm getting ready for another just.
Oh yeah, there's a big one over me too.
Just a tidal wave.
Oh god.
Right, this is where I might accidentally get real, but
okay.
I'm not intending it. But you know, as we all do when I'm trying to like bring things in, you know, about like it's why I like certain things, certain elements. You bring a bit of you into that. That's why things connect.
Yeah, exactly.
Art.
It's time to be real.
That's how art consumption is had.
Yeah.
Right. What I liked about their specific dynamic and relationship is that they are both clearly two people in situations where they are basically having, again, life crises. There's clearly where like Macaulay seeing himself where it's like, I'm 30, 20s. This isn't explicit in the film, but you can look at it in that. He's 30, his 20s are past him. He's not really settled down. Liz has said that he doesn't know himself yet. He's going through all sorts. He's good at his job. He's got a book and all that. Another funny bit where how like Tracy just goes, "Yeah, you wrote a book though. Why do you just keep writing?" He goes like, "Well, there's a thing called earning a living." There's a thing that
does like what did he say that he made off it, like $600 or something?
Something like that. He said it's not going to do any better because of libraries or anything.
Yeah.
Which I find funny, a little bit of a commentary of like the library industry is preventing authors from making money.
Yeah, bizarre. By the way,
it's like the taxi industry versus Uber.
Yeah, genuinely.
It's like that type of thing. Authors versus library. Get that as a film. But so there's that as well, and then you got Tracy, who's also like from the beginning, she's getting in a marriage that doesn't seem to be what she wants.
Yeah.
And she hasn't had great times romantically. Has our trace. Our trace. She hasn't had a very
God
good
bless
time.
her.
She hasn't had a really good time with the blokes, has she, our trace?
Trace. You've gone a bit you went a bit John Lennon there. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah. Speaking of hitting wives,
Ooh.
did he not? Did he not?
Allegedly.
John Lennon. I don't know a John. John
Legend.
John, but that's more Legend.
That's more John Legend, isn't it, than John Lennon?
Who, as far as I'm aware, has not hit a wife.
As far as I'm aware, Chrissy Teigen is okay, but we don't know.
Let's move away from.
Yes. Let's swiftly move away from this.
Watch this be incredibly untimely. We're recording this 6th of September. Watch by the time the thing comes out, John Legend is just
completely cancelled. Terrible person.
It's like, God damn it.
God.
These are clearly two. This is something I really like in my in a romance story. Or even a doomed romance story. You got two lost souls who are just kind of floating about. And they may not be great for each other in the long run, but they kind of we both feel a bit isolated in how we feel. We both feel a little bit like no one's really, I don't want to say getting us, because that sounds a bit like you don't even get me, but no one's sympathetic. That's a better word. No one's either sympathetic or you're just feeling a little bit like a sore thumb in any situation.
Yeah,
you got these two who I think kind of naturally just end up just forming a bond in that way, where it's like they both clear, and not even in like a really forced way. I don't even think this is I think this is really good in not being a forced romance in any way. If you can call it a romance, it's very lustful. It's not very loving. It's very lustful. Is what I would say is their thing. And what I kind of like in the sense, it's very. I like. Again, the whole dynamic is very. I like seeing them just kind of get to know each other a bit more, and I think this is what I also really started liking about James Stewart's drunk performance is that. Again, he'll talk to her and he'll be open enough with her. But what I almost like is when he has had a lot to drink, he's just...
everything is just... Jesus.
Like, he's then like, oh, yeah, I'll say she's good looking. I'll just say it to her face.
Yeah.
He'll just say it.
Yeah.
He'll go to Dexter and be like, I really like her. I just really like... It's like, it's just... And which he goes from being funny drunk, because he is a funny drunk, to just he's still keeping consistent and being that bumbling funny drunk, but he's doing a lot where it's like he's just going like because he's like, well, I can do it because I'm drunk and it's enough of an excuse for me to just do it, type of thing. And you can tell that's something that he means, because when it becomes the morning after, he's trying to consciously be a bit flirty with Tracy.
Yeah.
Be a bit like, hey, I remember things and I remember that being pretty cool. So how you doing? And she's kind of like, it's like, oh no. Then I started feeling bad for him. It's like, oh no. Oh, no.
God bless that man.
He had the night of his life. He didn't even care. He got decked in the face. He's like, he thinks it's sorted. He thinks, right, that's it. Yeah. I think I found it. I think I found the one. And then he's like, no, I definitely did not find the one. And I think and I like that in the sense of it's a really cool depiction of lovesickness. In the sense of it's very not lightning in the bottle. It's very, it's a very strike of lightning in the sense of it just happened over one night.
Yeah.
But in that one night, obviously your mind then predicts the future for you.
Yes.
It goes oh, she's really into me and I'm really into her. And this is just it. This is it.
Yeah.
In love. It's good. It's going to go great from now on. It's it's a one night thing where both of you are a bit lost and a bit you've both had quite a bit to drink. So you're very just emotionally flowing.
Yeah,
so so you're just very like, it's a fling in the most extreme of the definitions, in the sense of just like, it's just wah. Both you are just in a sure stuff it mode, and which is why I'm kind of glad that we saw the morning after to see like, oh yeah,
yes,
because I always like seeing films that have those moments of like nice like one night romantic moments. Like I think Dazed and Confused it hints at some moments in that, and obviously like a lot of coming of age films do that, where it's like one night and the guy that we've been following finally gets the girl of his dreams, and isn't it just sweet? And then credits roll. But it's like, but then you need to remember the morning.
But what happens after though?
But then you need to remember the next day, where it's like, oh, that like happened because it was like that type of atmosphere and environment, to where again, just like in certain time, like environments like that, people are just, and depending on this type of person you are and the type of person you're with, you can have moments like that. But then it always gets to the morning later, and it's almost like, all right, now back to reality, and that was clearly just a one-time thing. That was clearly just a one-night thing. And I don't even mean like, oh, a one-night stand thing, because again, it's not even like they had sex in the film, but it's just like an emotional one-night stand where it's just like that. And I don't know, I don't see a lot of that, and I always like, I like romance films where that's a thing in a film, but I like it even better where we see the reality of it, because then it just kind of slaps you. It kind of slaps you across the face and go, right, yeah, we all have these feelings, and it's a nice emotional catharsis to see those situations play out. But it's almost nicer to be like, yeah, but also, come on.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
And be like, and also, because that's also the moment that I like, how he goes like, how that's the reason why I'm glad Macaulay didn't get with Tracy as much as he wanted to, but Tracy's reason is like, and I don't think Liz would like that. And it's like, see, that's what I mean. And I'm not saying like I then wanted to see Macaulay and Liz get together right away, because then again, that wouldn't have been right. As Liz has said, he needs to just kind of find himself. Macaulay doesn't need to be marrying anyone at this point.
Yes, absolutely not.
He does not need to be getting with anyone. He needs to be understanding these clearly emotions that like he's finding, and he's only comfortable talking about when he gets alcohol in him. And he needs to actually try to like get control of those. Is all I'm saying.
Yes,
and it's
absolutely.
And it's almost nice to also see that, because obviously also romance films do it in the sense like, we're just going to see the guy like this, and the girl is just kind of like a point of reference to that emotion, where it's nice to see the other person in that situation is also like that, and also dealing with her whole thing as well. So it's nice to see like the two sides of just the confused, lonely people. is what it is, exactly what that relationship is. It's two confused, lonely people who don't quite know what their emotions are doing to themselves. And there you go. And I managed to get through that without bringing myself into it. But you can put two and two together,
it's
ladies
good
and gentlemen.
stuff, mate. It's excellent stuff.
But you can also put two and two together, ladies and gentlemen. But that's not for this podcast.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Good storytelling, and I like it as well, especially for a film of this time.
Yeah, I don't, but you know,
But there
you go. That's sometimes that's the way the cookie goes to shit. You know.
Yeah. And with that being said, Philadelphia Story. Overall, I enjoy this film. Again, as I said, it's a film that I consistently like. It's a film that I'm not like claiming as one of the greatest films ever made. Very confusing that it's a big Academy Award winning film, but again, I guess for the time it was different, you know, and also because of the absolute Hollywood royalty that's in this film. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's a film that, again, it's a film that I like all of the actors in it. So I like watching them act together. It's got some fun, witty stuff for me. And it's a nice film to stick on a summer afternoon for me. It's been that type of a film where like I just want to chill. It's been one of these films where like if I just want like a chilled classic film to watch, like not like an intense classic film, but just like I just want like I want an old film that just has a bit of like charm to it. I stick this on. This is one of the films I stick on, honestly, because I can't be watching 12 Angry Men all the time because that's intense. That could be intense.
Yeah, that's a big one.
But I'm watching Jimmy Stewart and Cary Grant just kind of drunkenly bumble around together. It's a bit fun.
And good on them,
Yeah, exactly. So, final thoughts on the Philadelphia Story, Robbie?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not a big fan of it. Sorry, everybody that likes this movie. I didn't find it.
The 100% of critics.
Yeah,
that like
the 100% of critics that I've seen this that like it for some reason. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's not for me. I'm sorry. I didn't find it very funny, and I thought all the characters were the worst people. For me, if you'd like to see a nicer Philadelphia Story, watch Rocky. Specifically the first two. Don't go further than that.
Yo, 3.
Yeah, 3's alright.
4. You tell me not to watch 4.
4 is bizarre.
Yeah, and you should watch it.
Yeah, watch it for the sake of it, I guess. He's got a robot butler and stuff, and that's pretty cool. But I don't know, watch the Creed films as well, they're pretty good.
Rocky Balboa is great. Rocky Balboa is really
Rocky
great.
Balboa is good. Yeah, watch all of them except 5 then, I guess.
Yeah, all of them but 5.
Every single one except 5. They're all pretty good. And I'm excited for Creed 3.
Indeed. And with that being said, we should go over to the intermission section of the Intermission pod.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that was a film that I keep forgetting is coming out this year, Creed 3.
Yeah, and it's had test screenings recently, and everyone is giving it like high 90s. Apparently, it's a banger, so that's exciting.
Yet to see anything of it.
No footage. There's been some set photos of Jonathan Majors looking like a fucking giant.
Nice.
But yeah, it looks. I mean, Michael B. John's directing, so that's interesting.
I'm excited to see what he's like directing.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I have like 3 specific things to talk about in this intermission section.
You go for it, Robbie.
Okay. First of all, so we'll do it. Should we start off with the classic? What have I been watching this week?
Yeah.
Okay. I watched Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power.
I haven't heard good things about this.
Right. Okay. Here's my thing with this. Support assist, bro. Chill out. My God. Support assist is the loudest guy. Yeah, I've seen some people saying that Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power is amazing. And it's like, whoa, it's like just mind blowing and what a return to Middle Earth. Not for me. Sorry everyone. I think it is unbelievably dull.
Right.
In terms like visually and technically, it's incredible. I've never seen a TV show look that good in all of my life. And sometimes it really captures the spirit of the Peter Jackson movies. And when it does, it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside and I like it.
Cool.
But there's like 4 separate plots going on at the minute. And 3 of them revolve around elves.
Right.
And elves in Lord of the Rings are these kind of emotionless, like brick wall people that don't really show any emotion and they're just kind of blank to everything. And when those are the main characters of your show, it's incredibly fucking boring to watch. And nobody in this show is entertaining to watch on the elf side of things. Right. Galadriel is one of the main characters. She sucks. Right. She's so boring. My God. There's another one who's fallen in love with a human, but I don't care because he says he's fallen in love, but I don't see any of the emotion on his face because he's an elf and he's boring. Another one is Elrond, who was Hugo Weaving in the original films.
Okay.
Who is nothing like Hugo Weaving was in the original films. He's much more charming, and actually, I quite like that one of the ones. But it's mostly because he's gone to see the dwarves, and I like dwarves. They're fun. Good on him. The bits that are keeping me going with this show are the bits with the Harfoots, who are a specific species of hobbit. There's one the main one's called like Nori or something. Nori Brandyfoot. Very good, very hobbity name, and she's great. I very much enjoy her. And Lenny Henry's there. All right. Lenny Henry's a hobbit. Good on him.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's all right actually. He's doing pretty well. And so everything with those characters and the whole thing with them is that like a meteor. Spoilers, I guess. A meteor has fallen into their like just outside their village, and Nori goes to suss it out because no one else sees it or something. Even though everyone would fucking see it, it's a giant flaming ball, but nobody questions where it landed, even though it's so clearly nearby. Anyway, Nori goes to it, and there's a guy that was in the asteroid there, and she keeps going up to him, but he can't talk, so she can't communicate with him and find out what his name is or anything. And he just shouts like "Roo!" And then things like he's got long scraggly hair, and then when he's dressed, he's in a grey cloak, and the like rocks start floating when he starts shouting, and then they all fall to the floor. And all the discourse online is, who is it? Who is the stranger that fell out? It's fucking Gandalf. It's obviously Gandalf. Who else is it going to be? It's Gandalf, all right? And if it's not, I'll eat my words, and as this series progresses, I'll keep it updated with this every week on if I'm wrong or not. That is definitely Gandalf.
Okay.
But yeah, overall the show's pretty fucking boring.
I was saying to Lewis, I find it an odd how this is coming out the same time as House of Dragon.
Yeah, and House of the Dragon is infinitely better.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
It's so much better. So yeah, I mean, if you're a Tolkien fan, you're gonna watch it anyway. But for me, it's kind of dull, except for the 15 minutes of every episode where we're with hobbits. The 15 minutes out of every hour when we see a hobbit on screen is great.
Fine.
I'm fine. What I do find weird about it, and this will be my last point about it, why I think it's feeling so dull is not only the fact that most of the main characters are elves, which makes them fucking boring, but also that in the Lord of the Rings movies and the Hobbit films, you usually spend around half an hour of the first movie in the village that the main characters are from, and then they go off on their adventure.
Yeah.
Right? And in this show, we're now 2 full hours into the show, and we've yet to leave a village. An adventure has not started yet.
There's also a season, you know what I mean? Are they just basically stretching... Are they just stretching out a 3-hour film over like a season? Is that what they're doing? Yes,
right. But the 3-hour films are almost too long anyway.
Yeah.
So what are you doing stretching it over like 10 hours? I don't want that. It sucks. I don't know. It's fine. Watch it if you want. I'm just one guy, I guess. A lot of people seem to like it, but it's not for me.
I want to preface as well. We stated last week that you'll update that this week. You'll say stuff from like the D23 thing and see if like I will, or like whatever it is. Want to preface? We're recording this before that's happened.
Yes, D23 hasn't happened yet.
It's happened in the chronology of when this episode's out, just not when we're recording.
When we're recording. So that's a next week one,
That'll be next week. And also,
that'll be next week.
Also from last week, happy birthday, Julia.
She would have happy birthday, Julia. She will have done. And
also a thing that would have happened, that hasn't happened yet, is we would have went to Sunderland Short Film Festival.
We find out.
So either Robbie... right. I'll say all possibilities so we can just think. Either both of our films got in, Robbie, get in.
Whoa!
Or congratulations, Robbie, on A Story of Love and Planet Warfare getting in.
Thanks, man. Or Oscar, congratulations on Love Bethany making official selection for the Sunderland Short Film Festival.
Thank you very much. Or unfortunately, neither of us got in, but I will still be going.
Yeah. Or do you want a beer? Do you want to go for a beer?
That'll be a definite thing that'll be happening.
Yeah. Yes.
Just
absolutely.
Let's just go. So anyway, yes.
One of the other things I wanted to talk about is this bizarre. So I've got there's 2 more things I need to talk about.
You get all the Robbie Tweedale like things you want to mention. I'll get all my nonsense.
Fucking bizarre situation with Don't Worry, Darling.
Right.
It's hilarious.
Okay, yeah.
It's hilarious.
Right. Okay. What's this thing that I've apparently missed with Harry Styles?
Video surfaces today, right? Everyone walking to their seats for the screening of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
The people have played out on Twitter. The seating arrangement is set up as if it's a family of divorce, and everyone there's people that you've got to keep separate. So it's like way at one end is Olivia Wilde, right? Next to her is Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Next to him is Harry Styles. Then it's
Chris Pine's in between Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles.
yeah, weird.
Yeah.
Then it's God, what's Gemma Chan.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's Florence Pugh. Then it's Nick Kroll, right?
Right.
And from what I've seen from it, Nick Kroll and Florence Pugh are having a friggin' great time and not talking to anybody. They're not making any eye contact with anyone. They're just loving life on their own. They're having a great time.
Nice.
But the hilarious thing, which this could be proven to be, it's just the angle, it's just what the footage looks like is happening, right? So I know as much as whatever's on Twitter at the minute. So apologies if I get anything wrong and accuse someone of something that they didn't do, even though it very much looks like they did it.
And I know nothing about what's being said, so I can't correct anything.
Okay.
So go on.
Okay. They're all getting seated for the festival, right? Olivia Wilde, Chris Pine are already sat down. Harry Styles comes in, right? Says hello to Olivia Wilde. Doesn't make any eye contact with Chris Pine. As he's sitting down, spits on him.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
He just walks over, and Chris Pine is clapping. Everyone else are coming in, and then all of a sudden you see Harry Styles come over, and as he goes to sit down, he goes like that, and then you see Chris Pine just instantly stop, look down, and he's like, "What? What just happened?" Yeah, and then they sit, and then he sits down and doesn't look at Chris Pine the whole time.
What is this?
I don't know what happened on the set of this movie. What happened?
Jesus.
Yeah. It's bad, man. I don't know what's going on. Also, there's that clip going around where Harry Styles and Chris Pine are getting interviewed by the same person at the same time. They're like, "What do you think is so special about this film?" or something. And Harry Styles just goes on to describe the fact that it's a movie. He goes like,
cameras and there's a boom mic and they rolled action.
He goes like, it's just like, it's a proper like film. Like it's a movie that you would go to the theater and sit down and watch because it's that kind of film. And you're like, well, yeah, like a movie. What are you talking about?
Do you mean how I consume film?
Yeah, it's bizarre. Hang on, I need to get the clip of what he's saying because it's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Is Harry Styles dangerously becoming close to becoming like the new Jared Leto?
He could be a bad person. Who knows?
I'm not saying a bad bloke. I'm saying I'm not saying Jared Leto isn't a bad bloke. What I'm saying is Harry Styles becoming dangerously close to being really pretentious and up his own backside as an actor.
Certainly could be. Wait,
He's getting very close.
Can you see this if I put this right up to the screen? Hang on.
No.
I might have to turn my background off so you can see it.
Yeah.
I want to show you the clip of him sitting down and spitting because it's really funny.
YouTube audio only listeners. Robbie's going to show me.
Yeah, sorry,
phone.
Sorry, audio listeners.
Go to YouTube for the full context.
Wait, it's going to start replaying this.
Yeah. I can see his reaction and whatnot. Hang on a minute. Oh, what the fuck? Hang on, let it replay again. I need to watch it again.
He does, what? Right? He spits on him.
Harry Styles looks like he's about to throw fists.
Yeah.
What is going on? What is this?
I don't know. So I need to find
Jesus Christ.
Him in that interview because it's the funniest thing because that I can play out loud.
Lewis, try not to cut this out because you cut out the audio from Robbie's phone when he tried to phone Julia. Don't cut this out.
Yeah, sorry, Lewis.
Thing about the movie is like it feels like a movie. It feels like a real go to the theater film movie that you kind of the reason why you go to watch something on the big screen. I think my favorite.
What is this guy saying? What's he on about?
What are you doing? What are you doing, Harry?
What are you talking about?
Jesus.
And anyway, so the last thing I wanted to talk about was because that's bizarre, and I hope everyone's okay. That was wronged or whatever, but I hope Chris Pine's lap is dried. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Still gonna see the film. I'm still interested in the film.
I'm still gonna see it, even though the 39% Rotten Tomatoes audience critic score, is not.
I don't. It might be a situation like when I went to see Men. I really like Men.
Yeah.
I really like Men, but also it didn't get the best response, did it? That film.
Nah, it didn't. It was a bit divisive.
Yeah.
The other one was The Rock being a bizarre human being, as he is.
This is the weekly segment on this podcast of like, what has The Rock done now?
Yeah, the weekly isn't The Rock weird. So what happened was, there was a fan screening of Black Adam, right?
And only The Rock showed up.
So 25, 25 fans. Got to see the movie in an enclosed thing and probably signed 3,000 NDA forms or whatever.
Yeah.
And The Rock sat at the back of the cinema with
Did they know he was there?
They didn't know he was there, right? Cap, sunglasses, mask on.
But
right?
It's The Rock. He's huge, and everyone knows what
he's a ginormous human being. So the video clip that I've seen of this that they've released officially as like marketing for the movie cannot be real because he is the largest man that's ever existed.
It's Dwayne Johnson.
You'd know it's Dwayne Johnson. Even if he had a cap and a mask on, you know that it's him.
Dwayne Johnson.
But yeah, because no one is that large, right? So they watch the movie and then at the end, they're all applauding or whatever, and he comes down the stairs, takes off his mask, takes off his hat, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's Dwayne Johnson!" Right? Right? And then he stands at the front and he goes, "Guys, I feel so, this is the first time I've seen the movie, and it's the first time I've seen it with an audience, and like I feel so overwhelmed by the response or whatever." And they're like, "What?" They're like, "What did you think of the movie?" And all that cuts to specific people being like, "Wow, The Rock, it was amazing. I loved it. I loved it so much." One person goes, someone goes, "I think it's difficult when you're as big a movie star as you are, Dwayne Johnson." It's just stroking his ego. Like when you're such a star as you are, Dwayne Johnson, I think it must be very difficult to kind of separate the actor from the comic book character that I want to see on screen. And I think you just did it amazingly. Like, when I looked at the screen, I just saw Black Adam. I didn't see The Rock and all this. And he's like, "Well, thank you so much," or whatever, right? But what if you went to see Black Adam, at this screening with the Rock sat behind you, and you miraculously didn't realize it was The Rock? What if you went to that screening, and The Rock stood up, and you didn't like the movie, and you didn't like it?
So you're there.
What if you went and you didn't like it, and he stands at the front and goes, "So what did you think?" And you have to tell The Rock to his face that his passion project of 20 years has been dog shit.
No, you have to lie. You can't just.
That's what I mean. So who is this video for?
It's like The Rock's going like, "See, they all like it." It's like,
everyone likes it. This movie's gonna be great.
They're not gonna look at you and go, "It was genuinely terrible."
Hello, 400 pounds of muscle,
Mr. Mr. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, Mr. The Rock Johnson. I hated the movie, and you sucked in it, by the way.
No one's doing that.
No one's going to say it's bad, so what's the point in this? You might as well go...
Do you remember... Do you remember that one promotional video for Morbius that made us feel like we stepped into the Twilight Zone?
Oh my god, yeah. When Jared Leto was going on a world tour of Morbius and everyone was going Morbius.
It's like, Morbius. Let me hear say Morbius. And then everyone's like,
"Ah!"
And then
everyone's going mental.
And then there's just another clip of him sat with a man with a luchador mask going "I think this is a really important film." I was like, who is this? What is that?
Who is that guy?
What are we doing?
It's like, it'd be probably better off, right, if you got Pierce Brosnan to go, right? And he goes up to the front and he goes, "What did you really think, by the way? Because I'm not going to tell Dwayne."
And they go, "Well, Mr. James Bond, let me tell you first."
Yeah. Because, like, I can't imagine, A, he cares how the reception of this movie goes.
Forgot he was in it.
Pierce Brosnan doesn't care that if Black Adam ends up being good or not.
Forgot
and also,
exactly.
It's like, I imagine also, he's never going to talk to The Rock again. So he's not going to pass on the information.
Go on, just tell me. Just tell me what you.
Yeah,
thought.
it's like, no, be straight with me, because I'm not going to tell Dwayne. It's like it's just a bizarre situation. Anyway, it's out in October or whenever it comes out. We'll see it.
I'll be with Lewis and Gary probably, and
yeah, I'll go see it.
And then
I suppose
we'll hear about it on a podcast probably.
Yeah, dear God.
Maybe I don't know. Jesus Christ.
Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, that's me done.
Right, what Oscars watched? Not a lot.
Yeah.
I've been in a film lull lately. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
I've been in the mood. There's been nothing really on in the cinema.
Yeah.
There's Orphan First Kill. The only thing that stopped me from watching that is I haven't seen the first Orphan. Because that's the only thing that stopped me from watching that film.
Yeah, I suppose. If you like.
And no one's responding to me who wanted to see Nope again. So, that's the thing.
Oh, can we go see it?
Yeah.
Can we go see it on Thursday?
Maybe, we'll see.
All right. Like, go see it before we go out for tea. If I get there in the morning.
That's what I mean. It depends. We'll see what time.
Yeah.
We can maybe fit it in.
All right, cool.
If it's playing in the morning.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, actually. I didn't think about
I don't know.
I didn't think about that.
We could either see that or Elvis, Robbie.
Oh, dear Christ. I watched Elvis.
Did you finish it? Did you actually?
No. God, no. I had a headache.
No,
I thought I was going to vomit.
I've already talked about this. We don't need.
Yeah. I thought I was going to throw up in a bag.
He's white.
Yeah, he's white. It's the best. It's the best line delivery of anything I've ever seen.
It's one of my favorite films of the year. Get ready for my top 10 of next year. This year.
Dear God. I'm so excited to see.
We'll see if I'm joking.
I hope you're joking. Oh, no. I'm excited to see him in Pinocchio because it seems like he's doing the same thing.
Austin Butler.
Which is exciting. No, not yet. Not. Tom Hanks, because he's in all prosthetics and stuff. And there's a bit in the trailer when he's shouting. There's a bit in the trailer where he's shouting. He's like Pinocchio or whatever. He says it real weird, so that's good.
Is that the one with Joe Scott-Levitt as Jiminy Cricket?
Yeah, it is indeed. Looks real stilted, but I don't know.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I did a similar. I was at a barbecue, a neighbor's barbecue, and Elvis got brought up.
Oh God.
The film Elvis, and then someone mentioned how fit Austin Butler was, but they didn't say his name. It's like, isn't he just like magnetic? And I just go, yeah, Tom Hanks is well good in that.
Yeah, I loved his jowls.
I went like, oh yeah, Tom Hanks, and then I just got a look. I just got to give it up.
Oh God, I didn't
no Oscar, obviously not Tom Hanks.
That was a question I had about the Elvis film, actually, because obviously I was avoiding spoilers like the plague. A question that I have is I didn't get up to a point where he met the lady that went on to become his wife. Do they gloss over the pedophilia?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good.
Oh yeah,
anyway.
Good on him. I think they say like, oh, he was older.
Yeah, but here's the thing, makers of that movie. How much older? Was he, for example, around 25 when she was 14? Who's to say? I don't know. She was 14 when they first met. Sorry if that was peaking at all, Lewis, but Christ. Come on.
But no, yeah. But anyway, I haven't been watching any. I haven't really been watching any films lately. Well, I watched last night. I watched the Woodstock '99 Netflix documentary.
Oh yeah, I saw your review to that on Letterboxd.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Is it good?
Yeah, I enjoyed it fine. It was something I just stuck on because I literally had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, that'll be something to watch.
Yeah.
I'm not massively familiar with the Woodstock generally, but I know the bands involved, and
yes,
and again, and it's so funny because just looking at like late 1999 and like it's like the guy who originally organized like Woodstock '69. I was like, we want to bring that back. I'm like, yeah, you see, the music's different. And you're just looking at who's big. You're thinking like, 69. We're gonna get Jimi Hendrix and all these flower power, rock and roll, counterculture people, and the crowd you're gonna get are those people.
Yes.
You're like, we're gonna do the same, and you get Limp Bizkit and Korn. You're not getting.
It's not gonna go well, is it?
Do you know about the whole?
Yeah.
It's like the end thing is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. First of all, Lee is just naked playing bass.
Fantastic.
It's just and so I see that his dick's just out. I'm like,
Good on him.
nice. And apparently the organisers by that point, they're the last act of a 3-day festival, and they're like, yeah, of course. Yeah,
fantastic.
like,
Whatever,
just
man.
like, sure, yeah. And it's like, and then the guy who organised the festival, Michael Lang, was like, do you know what'd be really cool and really nice? If for Under the Bridge, we get like a candlelit vigil.
What?
Have you not seen what's been happening in this?
What are you talking about, you lunatic?
In this festival of just, again, white male rage.
Yes. Just like, you are a crazy person. What is wrong with you?
It's just a load of dude bros who love American Pie and got the wrong message of Fight Club. It's those types of guys.
Yeah.
It's the guys who probably got Tyler Durden's face tattooed on their arm. It's those types of guys who tore up the sound tower during Limp Bizkit's concert.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, yeah, do you know what? We'll have a nice peaceful candlelit vigil to Under the Bridge. It's a nice
bizarre.
song. It's a nice chill song. And yes, with any other people, yes, a candlelit vigil would probably be cool. Why are you
Where have you been, sir?
And then, no shit, there was a fire.
Yeah, obviously.
It's mental. It's absolutely insane. So
Jesus Christ. I might give that a watch.
It was an easy like 3 hour because it's like 3 hour long episodes. So it was just like it was an easy just get through in the sense of like I just had it on and it was like okay, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
But the thing that I have been watching, we're on about drama. We're on about drama, Robbie, and we're on about The Rock as a wrestler. Wrestling's been a thing. And
yes.
Around about this time last year, I talked about how much I loved AEW's pay-per-view All Out from last year. Talked about how much I loved that. Talked about like, I've rediscovered being a wrestler. This is why I like being a wrestling fan. It's for moments like this. It's very difficult to be an enjoyable wrestling fan right now, Robbie, for All Out this year. So basically, right, first of all, WWE's looking good. They got Vince McMahon out, bad bloke. Triple H is in charge creatively, and he's in charge in getting the wrestlers in. So Triple H is doing his thing. They did a big Cardiff show, which apparently went fine. That was on Saturday, so the day before AEW's pay-per-view in Chicago. So they did the Cardiff show. Everyone was a bit like, that was a bit of a weird ending. The ending for the pay-per-view, Robbie, was they had Roman Reigns beat Drew McIntyre. They tried to brand. I mean, they kind of could get away with it. The hometown hero. It's like it's Drew McIntyre, the Scottish bloke who and they're in Cardiff. They're like, it's close enough.
It's the opposite end of the country, but that's fine.
It's a different country.
I say that it's a different country altogether because it's Wales. But
But they try to get. It's like you're all the same type of fans. It's like I mean, you're right, but also are we?
I guess.
So they had Roman Reigns beat Drew McIntyre. Fine, whatever. Yeah, sure. And they had Tyson Fury punch out Austin Theory. Tyson Fury was there, knocked him out. And apparently the pay-per-view ended where it's meant to be right. Drew McIntyre's lost in front of his home base of people. In a massive Principality Stadium, event and stuff. Again, storyline wise, you should be like, you should be really torn up and good. They end the pay-per-view with Drew McIntyre stood in the middle ring with Tyson Fury, and they do a big sing along to American Pie.
That feels like it was a contractual obligation of Tyson Fury because that's what he sings at the end of every one of his fights. He sings that song. But that's bizarre.
But to me, I'm like, wait, so to end a big British show where the American beat our British hero, we're like, my American Pie. Oh,
it's
like, what? So people were like, that was weird.
That was a weird ending, but okay.
Boy, oh boy, I wish that was just the most controversial downer thing of the wrestling weekend. Right. I need to give you a bit of context and backstory to all of this. I'm sorry if you're a wrestling fan and you know all this anyway, but if you're not a wrestling fan, buckle in for what I'm about to tell you. I'm going to explain in a way where you would all at least understand this.
Okay.
In a way. Okay, so, right. May this year,
Yes.
CM Punk, my all-time favorite wrestler, and
Yes.
the guy who made his big return last year,
Mhm.
got me really giddy about being a wrestling fan again. My fucking hero is back wrestling again.
Yeah.
And he's doing really good. He's doing really
Nice.
good.
Good on him.
I'm loving wrestling again.
Okay.
I'm back into everything. Loving him. In May, CM Punk beat Hangman Adam Page to become the AEW World Champion.
Okay.
A few days later, CM Punk broke his foot doing a stage dive. So
It's not ideal.
So he then had to be like, yeah, I'm just going to have to step away for a bit and whatever. So then they crowned an interim champion in the following pay-per-view, which happened in June.
Okay.
That champion was a guy called Jon Moxley, previously known as Dean Ambrose, for anyone who knows WWE.
I know Dean Ambrose.
Yes. So he became the AEW World Champion. He's had a banger of a year, right? He's done.
Nice.
He's had just really good time. He came back from rehab at the beginning of this year.
Okay.
Had a really good thing. He's just had banger after banger of matches and whatnot, and he beat Hiroshi Tanahashi at this June pay-per-view to become interim world champion.
Okay.
Then, bit later, CM Punk's back. He's back from his foot injury. So they're going to try and build this unification world title versus world title match between Punk and Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
The clear, logical thing is to do it all out, which is this pay-per-view that just happened because it's Chicago. CM Punk, big Chicago guy. He's from Chicago. It just makes sense, right?
Yeah.
To do the unification match there and then have CM Punk win and he's the undisputed world champion.
You would think.
Just do that. It's fine. It's easy. It's whatever. Then, a week after Punk's return, he came out. He did a promo. He's really good on the mic, really good at speaking. He decided to remember the name Hangman Page, the guy who beat for the title. They were in West Virginia, which is, for this show specifically that Punk's talking, which is the home of Adam Page.
Right.
Which Punk there's a moment where Punk is giving a promo and he goes, "Do you know where that is? All right then, hometown of Hangman Adam Page. So you know what, Adam? How about you come out for a rematch right now?" He sits down. Everyone's like, "What? This is mental." Everyone's cheering. Everyone's chanting.
Yeah.
Everyone's chanting cowboy shit, which is Hangman's catchphrase. Cowboy shit, cowboy shit. Music's not playing. Adam Page doesn't come out. Punk stands up. Punk stands up and he goes like, "Yeah, thought so. You see, that's not cowboy shit. That's coward shit. Know your place." And he just says that, and then we continue doing a Moxley and Punk thing.
Okay.
Later in that night, they then briefly announce like, since the animosity is so intense between Punk and Moxley, we're having the unification match next week on TV. It's like, oh, this is interesting. We got a pay-per-view in 2 weeks. What's going on?
What's the pay-per-view going to be?
So what's mental about this after the show? Apparently, everyone was confused of why Punk called out Page. That wasn't scripted. That was not meant to happen. And everyone was like, why did Punk do that? Apparently, Punk is pissed off at when they were doing a promo during their feud for the world title. Punk was annoyed that Adam Page said something that he felt was going off script. So Punk decided to make Adam Page just look bad.
Right, okay.
So that was that. Keep that in mind.
Okay. Oh, God.
We then get to the match, between the unification match that happened on free television, by the way.
Okay.
This is happening in Cleveland, which is the home state of Jon Moxley.
Right.
The match starts. CM Punk we're like a minute in. CM Punk kicks Moxley in the head.
Very good. Good on him.
Re-injures his left foot. This is in storyline.
Okay.
Re-injures his left foot. Moxley squashes him.
Right.
It's a 3-minute match. Moxley right then and there, undisputed AEW World Champion. Okay, cool. Let's go on. Let's move on.
Okay.
What's the pay-per-view going to be?
Incredibly boring.
It was interesting in the sense like, holy shit, what's next? That's what I was thinking. Holy shit, what's next? This is insane. There's been murmurs apparently backstage. There's the AEW locker room isn't feeling great. This has been reports. Like, everyone's a bit shaky. People who are on Punk's side are a bit thingy towards people who are on Hangman's side. It's all this. And also, to let you know, Robbie, Hangman Page is really good friends with people called Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. These are people who are executive vice presidents of AEW.
Right.
Right. These are people who are very good friends. They are also, and this is where I'm going to have to explain again, another point of the story to make sense. They are also friends with a guy called Colt Cabana, who used to be best friends with CM Punk.
Okay.
They got on a lawsuit thing.
Right.
It was very publicly known, like it was like in 2015 when this happened. It was very publicly known that they split off being friends.
Okay.
People were saying, oh, it's very convenient now that when CM Punk came back to wrestling, that Colt Cabana all of a sudden stopped being on TV. And it's also been very noted that Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, is a massive CM Punk fan. He's just a big Punk fan. So people are like, oh, it's a bit convenient, like, that this is the case. Murmurs and rumors, just so you know, like, the context of relationships with people.
Yeah, okay.
Within that. We then get to, literally, the Wednesday before the pay-per-view. We don't have a main event. We're in Chicago. John Moxley goes, right, I beat your boy. He's a bitch. Here's an open contract to anyone who wants a world title shot this Sunday. Off you go.
Yeah.
The next week, later that show, CM Punk comes out. He's saying, I'm a bit down, defeated, whatever. Ace Steel, who is a guy behind the scenes of AEW, and he trains CM Punk.
Yeah.
Comes out with the open contract. He goes, you sign that contract, you fight John Moxley, you motherfucker, type of thing. Like, gets him hyped up. Does like a Mickey and Rocky thing. CM Punk gets hyped up, takes the contract. He walks in the crowd. He goes, we are Chicago, and we're going to fight John Moxley. And everyone's like, yeah. And I'm like, is this the story now? Is this Chicago versus John Moxley? And
I guess.
And it's a bit dodgy. And I'm like, okay. So we get to the pay-per-view, right? And I want to say, the pay-per-view, I didn't mind. It was not as good as last year's all-out pay-per-view, but it had some solid wrestling on it. I enjoyed it. The highlight being that Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks had an amazing match against Hangman Adam Page and the Dark Order. Absolute banger of a match. The main event was really good as well. CM Punk and John Moxley had a really solid match.
Yeah.
Here's what I wanted. Here's what, in my head, at this point, right, Moxley's is on the midst of doing a really good world title reign. So in my head, I'm like, right, we already did the thing with Punk. The only way in my head that this will work is either, I think, you make Moxley basically make Punk pass out from getting the shit kicked out of him. So it's one that Moxley's game would get booed anyway at Chicago, and it's Punk, he's Chicago, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Just have Moxley win as another dominant champion, and then it becomes like, well, what's next for Punk type of thing. It becomes that type of thing. Or if you are going to have Punk win, you have him blatantly become a bad guy. Like have him cheat to win, and then we're a bit like, oh, okay, this is odd. They looked like they were going to go down the former route.
Okay.
Punk's busted open, pissing blood. Moxley is annihilating him. Punk's he's fine his own. Okay, we're doing good. Punk hits his finishing move twice on Moxley. I'm like, oh, okay. Pins him clean. So not a bad guy reception at all. Yeah. Hasn't turned at all. Okay, that's interesting. That's odd. Boy, would I wish that was the end of that confusion for this night. Because
dear Christ.
What has got the attention, Robbie, is not the matches or the pay-per-view itself. It was the press conference after the pay-per-view.
Oh, dear God.
CM Punk comes out with Tony Khan, the boss, next to him, and CM Punk decides to then go, you know what? Fuck Colt Cabana. But he doesn't say he says his real name. So he goes, fuck Scott Colton. And he has to go, you know what? I'm sick of people I'm sick of so-called journalists, as he's talking to the legit journalists, and he's going, I'm sick of so-called journalists spreading shit that's none of their business.
What?
And he outright goes, and you want to know the truth? Scott Colton, I paid for his lawsuit for a good while of things until he decided to countersue me, and then he was gonna countersue me back until we found out he shared a bank account with his mother, and when we found that information out, he then dropped it. All I'm saying is Scott Colton has rode off my coattails for so long, and I'm sick of the fact that we're still talking about this. No one brought this up in the press conference.
What?
No one brought this up. And then what makes it even worse, he goes, and it's even bad that so-called and people who call themselves EVPs are being immature and sticking their noses in other people's business. And I'm sick. And he says, and an empty-headed, dumb fuck idiot like Adam Page has to get involved in business that he doesn't need to get involved in. He just outright calls all these people out, and he goes, fuck this guy, fuck this guy, fuck this guy. I'm sick of this. Be careful what you're reporting. Tony Khan has to go, yeah, I just want to preface by saying, it's like, no, he shouldn't have to. He makes the owner look like a little bitch. Outright makes him look, it's embarrassing. He then walks out. He goes, just so you know, fucking be careful what you're reporting because we're all humans. Idiots. And he just walks
What?
walks off. I'm like, what the fuck? Apparently there's a camera where you see a security card, peg it. And everyone's like, what? So then apparently what happened, Robbie, is that right after that, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega walked into Punk's locker room to confront the man about it. Reports, again, that by the time this is out, there might be more that has come out about this. But apparently what ended up happening was Ace Steel, who was also with Punk at the time, tried to be on Punk's side with this. So his trainer and mate and all that.
Yeah.
Apparently fists were thrown. Apparently Ace Steel lobbed a chair at one of the Young Bucks, giving him a black eye and knocking him silly. And then apparently Punk swung at the Young Bucks. Kenny Omega didn't get any physical with CM Punk, but apparently Ace Steel pulled Kenny Omega's hair and bit him.
What?
This is shit that is happening in a professional environment.
What?
And apparently it's a stage where people are going, if this guy doesn't go, we're walking.
That's bizarre.
Insane. This is insane. And people are saying, right, Tony Khan should fire Ace Steel.
Yeah.
But then apparently people are saying, well, if Ace Steel gets fired, then Punk walks out, apparently.
Right.
And Tony Khan is a guy who's really into Punk, and this is a guy who's now your world champion. But also, the three EVPs are your new trios champions. This is wrestling right now. And I don't
Jesus Christ.
And then people are trying to being like, oh, is this real or is this scripted? I go, it's definitely real, because why would they do this? And also, it's even if it was scripted, it's not fun. I'm not
having fun anymore.
Right, and it's good for me because again, CM Punk's my all-time fave, and all I just wanted was a happy time on my favorite returning back to wrestling, and now I have to deal with the burden that my fave is an arsehole.
Yeah,
I have to deal with this bollocks.
Jesus.
And I love Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks as well. So it's not even. But again, no one's in the right in any of this.
No.
A fight should have broke out, and people are looking at right, if Tony Khan was actually a forceful leader, people wouldn't be doing this in his control. It sounds like it's a situation where it sounds like they're walking all over the man.
Yeah.
And where Punk's using his star power. And again, I love Punk, and I love what he brings to wrestling. Yeah. But the man does have an ego. He does have an ego, and it is apparent. And it doesn't help the fact that Tony Khan goes, CM Punk's the reason why we keep selling out arenas. He keeps saying that. So, of course, Punk's getting this perception where he's like, well, all right, then I'll leave.
I'm the best.
Yeah. Look, all I'm saying is it's mental And
yes, that is.
It's mental. And some people are like, well, it was like this back in the 90s. He goes, well, we didn't. Those are the bit in the 90s we didn't like.
Yeah.
Because there's stories about Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels getting into backstage fights and all that. And some people, will just make it into a storyline that will print money. I'm like, right, yeah. The thing is, Bret and Shawn were just bubbling, not liking each other while they were working with each other. And it got to these guys haven't worked with each other. I think it's got past the point where they're like, we'll put professionalism aside and we'll just like make a wrestling angle out of it.
Yeah.
No.
Didn't do that.
What a bloke lobbed a chair at someone.
Jesus.
In a backstage environment. No, it's crazy.
No, it's not good.
And I don't know, man. I just want to enjoy wrestling, man. I just want to have a fun time wrestling, and I'm not having fun. Not having fun right now.
Well, God bless you, sir.
Yeah.
God bless you indeed.
Why do I do this to myself? I said this to Lewis. I was like, I get into things that my favorite things always leave me disappointed. I love the Silent Hill franchise. I don't need to say anything.
Yeah,
I don't need to say anything. I put all my chips into Star Wars.
Dear God.
What happened to me there?
Yeah.
What happened to me there? Batman's doing good so far. I'm okay with that.
Well, yeah, for the time being.
Yeah, well, we're good at the minute. We're fine at the moment with it.
You've got Cassian Andor coming out soon. Is that not exciting for you?
No, I didn't know. I'm not excited for Andor, Robbie.
Might be all right.
I didn't like Rogue One.
No, I don't. I think it's really boring.
And I watched the first teaser. I was like, oh, it just looks like Rogue One, but a show.
Yeah.
It was very dull and boring.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll see.
I don't know, man.
Oh, Christ.
Well, I'll see what happens on this week's AEW.
Yeah, keep me updated, please.
Jesus Christ, mate. It's again. That's why I thought. Right. It's even though it's wrestling, it's a fun enough story to tell people who don't know wrestling. As long as you just know names, and then you just hear the shit that's been happening.
It's bizarre.
It's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
It's absolutely crazy. But the last thing I want to say before we go into the negative Letterboxd section is a little story, an Oscar W. Fitcher story.
Go on.
Of what happened to me this last week since we've last talked, Robbie.
Okay.
I was out on my walks, like I do.
Mm-hmm.
Just listening to my music. My music. I'm walking along I'm walking along the promenade, and a man's walking up to me, and he's speaking to me. So I'm all right. And let me see. What's this? What's this going to be?
What is this going to be?
What am I getting? What's today?
What joys of Hartlepool are going to bless me today?
So I pause my music, take my earphone out, and a man's asking me in not a Hartlepool accent. I want to add. He goes, what's the does anyone surf round? There's not many surfing round here, is there? While the waves are going for it. I go no. I go, no, not really. Seaton's not really a big surfing place. He goes, what are the waves like on the other side? I go, the other side? I'm not sure if he meant Limbo.
What do you mean, France?
And he meant France.
What?
And I'm like, oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. And he went, this isn't the North Sea, is it? I went, yeah, it's the North Sea. It is the North Sea.
Yeah.
I was like, and you see, because I'm from South Africa, and that's like got like quite like a surfing place. But like, I guess it's like Cornwall and Devon that all the surfing places here, aren't they? Went, yeah, that's where you go to surf. Not here though. Yeah. You're not surfing in Seaton Crew, mate.
Jesus.
And he went, so you don't know what the waves are like in France or anything? I went, no. I haven't been there in a long time. He went like what, like France, Italy? You haven't been there? Well, not since I haven't been to France since I was 13, mate.
Yeah.
He went, all right. Well, thanks. And he just walked off, and
But why would it? But sir, okay. I have some distinct questions about that.
Go on.
One, did he just get here? Has he only just got into the country and come straight to Hartlepool because it's near the sea?
He was walking from. So he was basically walking along the promenade as if he would be walking to Seaton.
Right.
So he looks like he would have come from the marina.
Right. Okay.
So
if it, so, right, does he travel place to place specifically for surfing?
That's why I assumed
Because if so, has he come from South Africa,
to
gone
Hartley.
to different places, gone to Hartlepool?
I would like
and
to.
then
I would like to think he's more so just travelled from South Africa and he's just doing the coast. I would like to think that.
Yeah, yeah. But if he's going, right, what are the waves like on the other side? As in France, right? Is he just going, doing surfing for a bit and going, shit here? And then just going to the other side of the fucking sea on a surfboard and going nah, this is better. What's he, like, does he expect, like, you've tried surfing, someone who clearly doesn't know anything about surfing because is not helping the conversation.
Yeah, let me add. I'm not wearing I don't know what I always like to add what I'm wearing because
I imagine you'd have your leather jacket on.
I was wearing my hoodie. I was wearing my black hoodie.
Yeah.
Because it's still
Okay.
warm. It's still warm. It's still too warm
Yeah.
at the minute. But I'm wearing my black hoodie. I'm wearing like jeans and Converse. I look like I'm an emo kid, basically.
Yeah.
Gone wrong right now.
Yeah.
Is what I look like. If anything, he should be asking me, "Where's the nearest skate park?" That's what I look like. I should be
I
answering.
might know.
I would have said, "Hey, Rosmere." That's.
But it's got nothing to do with surfing.
But if I go, "Oh, I don't know," stop. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
stop.
it.
Yeah. So why would you go? It's not like you've gone, oh, I've tried surfing around here, but I have gone across the channel to France, and it's better over there if you want to go over there.
I briefly, I said the fact, oh yeah, you wouldn't be surfing here, and I replied being like, oh yeah, definitely Cornwall and Devon, because I've been down to Cornwall.
Yeah,
and
I've done surfing in Cornwall and Devon.
I've bodyboarded, so I know.
Yeah.
I just know surfing culture in England.
Yeah, it's down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Jesus Christ, imagine surfing here.
What a bizarre
Yeah,
interaction with a man.
but also keep them coming. If you see me on the street, please just talk to me. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a laugh in it.
It's a good highlight of my days, actually.
Yeah.
It's a good.
Have you checked the poll?
No, I was going to do that at the very end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Do it at
fine.
the very end. Right. But also, what I will be checking right now, Robbie,
Yes.
is Letterboxd.
Thank God. Here we go.
For the negative Letterboxd reviews of the film that we just talked about. If you are unfamiliar, if you're new to this, we go to the social media site Letterboxd, where we look at the film that we just talked about, and we look at the negative reviews because it's always fun. We'll see how many Robbie agrees with.
It's a right laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might agree with some of these. Let's have a look.
Here we go. Right, here we go. Right. Half a star. Very,
Yes.
very meh. I agree with the other reviews about how it's misogynistic. Too much dialogue and spoke too fast. It was hard to keep up. Most of the movie was unnecessary.
I agree that everyone talks too quick. Slow down. Slow the hell down. I've got no idea what's happening.
I wanna like get another screwball comedy and see if we can find one that you like.
Possibly, yeah. That might be a good idea.
Maybe His Girl Friday. That might be a good one.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a
I don't know
guy-
what that is.
It's a Cary Grant one. It's the one that I'm not.
Okay.
It's the one that I'm not too hot on, but I wouldn't mind revisiting. It's one of those ones that's apparently essential films to watch for classic films, so that's why I watched it. But I wasn't like well into it. But
Yeah.
it would be
Okay.
good. It might be a good one to look into late at a late season. Right, half a star. The fact that the title calls this movie a story should be filed under false advertising. I mean, what? I am tied between calling this movie perverted or bipolar or both. Extremely sexist for the 40s. Extremely sexist. For the 40s, you expect a little, but oh my God. I didn't even realize this was supposed to be a comedy till I looked at some reviews. No likable characters, bone dry acting, settle down there.
Yeah, chill out.
And one of the most mind-numbingly boring scripts I've ever heard. They say words to hear themselves talk. I hate this movie. Simply put, it does have something for the family, though. As long as the family are fans of psychological torture via film. Jesus.
Nice. That's strong.
I'm curious what this person thinks of an Aaron Sorkin film.
Yeah. I'd like to see that.
That's all I'm saying about that. Half a star. I wish Cary Grant had a very grower neck.
A very what?
I wish Cary Grant a very grow a neck. Reading it verbatim.
I don't know what that means.
Neither do I. Let's move on.
Good on him.
Half a star. I lost interest so early, and I do not care at all.
Fair enough.
Why are these so long? Half a star. Taking into account the film is from 1940, it is quite normal. That includes chauvinist scenes. What is not normal is the normalization of the macho husband that physically assaults his wife and is considered as the perfect real man. Role model throughout the movie. Yeah, I can agree.
This guy sucks.
Every character ends up being hateful and repellent, especially the male ones. Take, for instance, Tracy Lord's father, who blames her daughter for his sexual affairs with younger women and who insists it is not his wife's business. Yeah, he's an ass.
Yeah, they all suck.
Empty film and highly overrated only because Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant and James Stewart perform on it. The Philadelphia story should not be considered neither a classic nor a cinematic gem. The hype around this film is another proof of human being unwarrantedly idealizing the past. Besides, if someone considers its plot satisfactory, that someone should read any Greek tragedy and compare its consistency and comedy.
I've never heard a more wanky statement to finish a paragraph on in my life.
Ayo.
You should try reading a Greek tragedy. Fuck you, fuck you, man. I don't know. You should try watching a Kevin Hart comedy or something. Just chill out.
You shouldn't.
But come be a commoner with the rest of us. Go see the new MCU film. I don't care. Do what you want.
At least say Top Gun Maverick. Come on.
I don't know. I've not seen that yet.
Mate.
I'm sorry.
And you watched what crappy MCU film? How many times?
I watched Thor once because it sucks, and
Right.
I'm never gonna watch it again.
How many times did you watch Mom?
Mom.
Multiverse of Madness.
I saw Multiverse of Madness. I've seen it 3 times. I saw it twice in cinema, and then I saw it once on Disney Plus with my sister.
And
She hadn't seen it yet.
And I repeat, this man has not seen Top Gun Maverick once yet.
Yeah, no, all right. I haven't had the goddamn time, all right. Jeez.
Half a star, the most disgusting movie ever. It gave me persistent headache. Would rate 0.
Was that for Elvis?
Still the Philadelphia story. Still the Philadelphia.
Dear God.
Half a star. Holy shit. This movie sucks so bad I fell asleep 3 times even though I wanted to stay awake because it's a part of my course grade to know what happens. For the small portion of the movie that I actually could force my eyelids open during, I felt actual physical pain from the boredom that is this movie. Pulling teeth would be a nice step up from watching this movie. If it weren't for a few good lines from Jimmy Stewart, come on, this would have been the worst movie that I have ever seen.
All right. Chill out.
I want to say this.
Chill your beans.
I want to say this person's username is Chris Nolan 69.
Brilliant. Can you tell me his favorite films, please?
Yeah, hang on a minute. It is Anchorman, Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, and The Lion King.
Is it Leo? Is that account Leo?
Is Leo's account Chris Nolan 69?
It sounds like something he would do.
His bio is you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Scooby-Doo. That
Right. Very good. Well, I don't know. It sounds like it's Leo.
We usually only do that for like the best reviews, but we needed to do that for like.
Yeah, I mean that. I just need to hear that.
I'm not reading that because it's too long. It's just too.
Okay.
It's just too big. You know, it's like I can't be bothered.
It's just like, come on, man.
Half a star. I hate these characters so much.
Yeah. Agreed.
Half a star. Again, that's too big. God damn it. And then there's another one. The last one is half a star. Overhyped as hell. There's no Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
No Hall of Fame.
No Hall of Fame. I'd say the best one might be the one where he said that he had to watch it for his schoolwork.
Oh, Chris Nolan 69.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a Hall of Famer, but I'd say that's the best one.
And we already read his thing out, so yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Yeah. Let's move on to the outro.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Side of things. And with that, should we recall the poll results?
Yes, I genuinely am curious if anyone has voted on that in the last 2 hours or whatever. Why have you sent me something?
Me?
Yeah.
I haven't just then.
What the fuck? Why have I just got a Skype notification?
I don't know. Did I accidentally hit the react button or something?
I think you accidentally ended the recording and sent the recording.
No. Do you know what that is? It's
What?
It's because we went over 3 hours, so we cut an hour in a new recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, as if this is this long.
Dear God. It's 3 hours and 3 minutes currently.
Jesus Christ.
It's how long I've been recording.
Right, so, it's 50-50, and is it just us? Oh.
Is it just us two?
No,
Please
we got 4 votes each. Right, okay.
Brilliant. Okay.
So it's 50-50. At the minute in time, we are completely 50-50 split on who's Team Oscar and who's Team Robbie.
Who's team you? I want to know the names so that I can attack them and convert them.
Right, no, I'm going to go from chronological order.
Okay.
The first vote was me, and I vote for Team Oscar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then it was you, vote for Team Robbie.
Yeah.
Then we had Joseph Caslin vote for Team Robbie.
Yeah, come on, Joe. What a guy. Unbelievable.
Love
that guy.
Listen to me, Joe. Take my films out your show reel. What's left? Just say.
Oof. If Connor's voted for you, I'll be fuming now.
He hasn't seen it.
Thank God.
Oh, has he? Has he seen it? No, he hasn't.
It would hurt my very soul if he voted for you.
Then it was Maddie Tweedale. She voted for Team Oscar.
Literally my sister.
Yeah.
Very good. Excellent. Nice one.
Then you had,
Absolute arsehole.
Then you had Then you had Gary Bradshaw.
Nice.
He voted for Team Oscar. I mean,
Dear
expected.
God. Yeah.
Known that man since 2006. I should hope.
Crawl out, Gary.
Then we had Reese, Bruce. He
Wait,
voted,
no.
what?
I swear to God.
He voted for Team Robbie.
Come on. Yes.
Then you had Aoife McEwen.
Yeah.
Right. And Leo Bradley, those are the last 2 votes. Right. So we have got, right. So thinking, we're even split, Robbie.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the fourth
Leo's voted for you.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely, Leo's voted for you because he's a piece of shit. I hate him.
Leo's on Team Oscar. Aoife's on Team Robbie.
What an arsehole.
So
Can we... I'm gonna make a note of these teams so we can
we need to
grow them as
we need to actually split them. All I'm saying is more people have seen the poll, they just haven't voted.
Okay.
And I'm gonna call you all out.
Okay. Let's go.
These are people who are you. Do you want to know who's in the teams? That do you, Robbie?
Yes, please.
Well, obviously me and you are in, but we're the leaders.
Yeah, that's fine.
In Team Robbie, we've got Joseph Caslin, Joe Caslin.
Joe Casling.
Reese Bruce. And Aoife McEwen. And then in Team Oscar, we've got me, obviously. We got Maddie.
Maddie Tweedale. What a piece of shit.
Gary Bradshaw.
Yeah.
And Leo.
Unbelievable.
And I'm calling you out. These are the people that have seen it and they are undecided.
Oh God, here we go.
Saying. We've got Lewis Hamilton. Come on, Lewis.
Okay.
Vote for one of us.
Come on, Lewis.
This is where he's like, I don't like either of you. I'm not in it. I'm not on any of this team. I'm not on any.
It's me. I want that to be his message at the end of this one. Which team he's on?
Someone called Rachel, who I used to teach swimming with. Come on, Rachel.
Right. Come on, Rachel.
You're obviously team me.
Yeah.
Sam Clark has seen the poll. He's not chosen a side.
He's definitely team me. 100%.
Someone called Chloe Hillbrand.
Chloe Hillbrand?
Yeah.
Follows that account?
Apparently so.
She's a friend of mine from A-level photography.
Well, she's undecided.
What a lovely lady. Well, she's team me, 100%.
Well, she hasn't put her name forward, is all I'm saying.
Every day of the goddamn week,
right,
she's
just because they know you, doesn't mean they're putting their allegiance to you.
It doesn't mean they like you.
Someone called Mitch Skelton.
Mitch Skelton.
Do you know?
Why do I
person?
recognize that name? Give me a second. I'm gonna search this guy.
Someone called Anna Johnson.
Anna Johnson is a good friend of mine. Unbelievable that she hasn't said anything.
Yep, undecided.
Mitch Skelton.
Yes.
Who are you, Mitch Skelton?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I have no idea who this guy is.
Obviously, we're going to carry this over. We're going to keep this going. And if we update, we could update you by the end of this.
Yeah. We'll let you know.
And yeah, so that's the poll results. We've now got teams. We've got
teams going. I've got them in my notes here. Here they are. They're written down, and they will be getting longer lists, and people might be getting crossed off and put onto a different list. Who knows?
That's a strong possibility. We can keep the poll going every week and be like, just
exactly
what team are you on?
What team are you on now?
Yeah, and
there'll never ever be a Team Lewis. No. That guy can suck it. There's no such thing as Team Lewis.
Whoa!
Boom! I don't need your vote, bitch. I don't need your vote, Lewis.
Right, and I want to excuse me there, and to guide us into the end of it. And speaking of Gary, Team Oscar member Gary, Gary Bradshaw. That should be a thing we should do sometimes. We should see if we can get the team members on for a special end of show call and go so why are you Team Oscar?
Yeah,
team
absolutely.
Robbie?
Yeah,
and then just get them well, I think the benefits of being on Team Robbie is, and
we need to make badges.
That's the next
an election.
Merch. That's the next merch.
Yeah,
Team
badges.
Oscar, Team Robbie, and we just blatantly rip off the Team Edward and Team Jacob.
Yeah, it's just the same. It's the same thing.
But yeah, right. But speaking of Gary, I want to throw some appreciation to Gary Bradshaw. Just because I feel like people need it. I feel like we need to just we need. Everyone needs a Gary in their life. Everyone needs a Gary. Yeah. Is he sometimes frustrating? Yes, but that's why we need a Gary. We can't have someone who's always on our level all the time. Sometimes he doesn't respond to you, and sometimes when he does respond to you, he doesn't answer the question you asked him. Sometimes he doesn't think you're asking him a question until you put a question mark at the end of the sentence. Who knows with him? But also,
who's to say?
But also, is a cardboard Gary? Is a real Gary? Which one do we like more? You choose. Whatever. But I have an ode to Gary. So I thought an original ode to Gary. I just want to read it, and it goes something like this. Again, my Gary appreciation ode goes.
God, I'm excited.
Oh, Gary boy, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen and down the mountainside, the summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. It's I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Gary boy, I love you so. Tune in next week for another Gary ode.
What the fuck just happened? Can we start doing that every week where we do a little song? Because I want to write one for next week now. What? Where did that come from? Anyway, whilst Oscar's choking.
Oh God! I nearly
over to you, Lewis.
I nearly did just a live spit take. Yeah, off to you, Lewis. Thank you very much, Lewis, for your weekly input.
Yeah. Thanks for not making it about me this time.
Well, we don't know that. We don't
wow.
know yet.
God, I hope he hasn't now.
With that being said, we can't end the episode without saying what next week's episode is. That was all. That was so close.
Oh yeah, Christ,
I nearly signed the episode off with saying what next week is.
I don't even know what we're doing next week. I have no idea what to watch.
Next week, we are going to the country of Japan. We are going specifically a samurai film from the 60s. This one stars... Hey, we both really liked Seven Samurai. We both really liked Harakiri, didn't we, Robbie?
This is true. I did like those movies.
This film has got Tatsuya Nakadai, the lead from Harakiri, and Toshiro Mifune, the guy from Seven Samurai. In this film is The Sword of Doom.
Sounds pretty cool. Sounds pretty exciting.
It's not Akira Kurosawa or Masaki Kobayashi, so it's a different director as well. We're going... again, we need to fill our samurai film quota for the season. Very good, yeah. And it's this one. It's The Sword of Doom. That's next week. Thank you all. Make sure you go on, I don't know, Instagram and Letterboxd and all that. Comment. And I'll be checking. Every weekly, I'll be checking the either the reviews on Apple Podcasts or comments on YouTube or DMs on Instagram or whatever. And if you send us some, we'll read it out here. So there you go.
Hell yeah.
So yeah. We've done a lot this episode. This has been, This has been a banger. This has been, I think, like a big, like, tent-pole episode in the intermission, I think. There's been a lot that's happened. We've established teams. We've done a lot. Thank you all, everyone.
It's been good stuff.
Thank you all, everyone, for listening and watching. And until next week, sign us off, Robbie.
Woo!